Getting nasty on a Tuesday. It's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter, 202. Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Well, I had to eat a lot of crow yesterday because I chose the route of, the Illini are overrated. Watch what this Nebraska team does to them. By the way, I hate Nebraska. I hate Nebraska's program.
What the hell?
I don't know anything really about the state. I hate the program.
You don't
because I grew up.
Black shirts? We're wearing the team colors today, too.
Yeah, I really am. That's my bad. On that one, that's a good call out, Jamie. Bunch of other teams wear these colors, but nonetheless.
But them in particular.
I grew up a Michigan fan because growing up in Detroit / Illinois / wherever, parts
Florida.
unknown, Florida.
Yeah.
You really only choose one of two teams, Notre Dame or Michigan. Because Illinois.
What?
So I was a Michigan fan. So I hated Nebraska growing up. He knows.
Man, I chose Illinois
Yeah.
over Michigan.
Yeah, you did.
Didn't even call him.
Didn't even call him back.
Didn't call, didn't write.
So I don't like Nebraska at all, but yet there I was on Friday night or Friday afternoon during the show saying Illinois is overrated. Nebraska's about to take them behind the woodshed.
Yep.
And I ate the crow over and over and over yesterday.
Yeah, you did.
All right. Well, good. It's good.
Oh, you're going. You're leaving?
I gotta take care of something.
What happened?
I felt something was coming this way. I didn't know.
Yeah?
Felt like I should just walk out right now.
Carey, before you go,
Okay, what's going on?
did you happen to see the Buffaloes last night? Did you happen to see the Bills play?
You know what? I'm a man.
'Cause you've been real
of
down
my
on the
word.
Bills.
You know, I can admit when I'm wrong. The Buffaloes, also known as the Buffalo Bills,
Yeah.
they look kind of good. And I was thinking about this on the way in because I just felt this in my bones that Anthony Stalter would remind me of my disdain for one Josh Allen. I was thinking about this earlier today before I came in, and I was like, you know what? Maybe trading Stephon Diggs wasn't the worst thing in the world.
Wow.
There it is.
Maybe
Carey Davis.
maybe not feeling the need to force the ball to one individual.
Who is this guy?
Maybe that's part of the
He's a
reason
new
why
man.
Josh Allen is not turning the football over.
Oh.
I will say, I do think that at some point Josh Allen will do something that he feels he can do that he should not do. But to this point, he has not. He turned the ball over in game one. They almost lost that one to the Arizona Cardinals. It's probably part of the reason why the Cardinals were still in that game. But since then, he's been pretty good with the football. And if you are good with the football and as talented as he is, you got a chance to win. You got more than a chance to win. My main concern with Josh Allen is he turns the ball over too much. He does, whether it's fumbling or throwing interceptions. Now, if he doesn't do that, he's a pretty damn good quarterback.
Yeah.
How long does it last? I don't know. But not forcing the ball to Stephon Diggs or maybe even feeling the pressure of having to get him the ball as much as he may have felt over the past couple of years. Maybe that has alleviated some of his turnover issues.
Wow. That's the first step right there, isn't it?
man.
You got to admit,
This feels
when you're
good,
wrong.
doesn't it?
You know, I
have to do it all the time. It's kind of it's second nature to me now.
It feels good to get it out of there. I was going to walk out and not own up to it because I felt it.
Yeah,
And
that's
when you
not
started
you.
about
That's
Nebraska
not you,
and
Carey.
Illinois, I'm like, see, I don't like where this is going.
Yeah.
Why is he bringing that up again? Who did something that may have to retract their words?
Yeah.
Oh, me.
Wait a second. All right, so I think that what you said specifically about not having Stephon Diggs, this is one of the reasons why, and I'm not often right, so let me highlight the one time I was, but I talked about being able to distribute the ball more evenly in this offense. Now, I don't think they're as explosive, but maybe they are. I mean, Shakir looks good. The kid Coleman, who caught a touchdown pass last night, I think he was his only target in the game, but he wound up catching the one deep pass. They can beat you in a multitude of ways now. It's not just the two tight ends either. I mean, Dalton Kincaid had a touchdown, a couple of nice catches. They really haven't used Dawson Knox much. But everybody eats. And James Cook, who I know you can I know you're not the biggest James Cook as
Running
an
ball.
every down back fan, but when James Cook eats, this is the whole offense eats.
They got
You got Cook, you had Kincaid, you had Coleman, you had Shakir, you had Ty Johnson catch a touchdown pass last night. This is a more complete offense.
They got 10 people that caught passes last night. So if you're able to, whereas in the past few years that might have been 4 or 5, because the majority of those targets would have been going to Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis. Like you had to get those guys the football. Now we're going to get it to the guy that's open, which I think probably bodes well for this offense if they are able to continue that. The main thing, in my opinion, one of the 2 concerns I have. One, I know Josh Allen will try to do something that he's incapable of doing and turn the ball over at some point. The other concern I have is when he's your leading rusher, which he generally has been, like the running game for me, your quarterback, he didn't have the most carries, but he had the most yards.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be, especially when I have a lead, like I should be able to hand the ball to my running back to get him to 15 to 18 carries to finish games out. Like, that's what I would prefer. But those would be my only 2 concerns. Other than that, Buffalo is they're doing really well.
Can we also say that the Jacksonville Jaguars are a terrible team?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I think both can be true. Jacksonville's dreadful.
Yes.
And I wonder if Doug Peterson holds on to his job by mid-season. Because you're 0-3 now.
That's tough.
0-8 in Trevor Lawrence's last 8 games.
That's
they haven't
ridiculous.
won going back to last year.
That's ridiculous.
Ever since
Trevor Lawrence's passer rating is worse than Daniel Jones, like over the last.
Well, that's a juggernaut over there in New York or New Jersey, depending on what you want to say.
Jacksonville, it's my fault. It's a whole listening thing gets me sometimes. Jacksonville looked like they didn't belong in the same fields. That looked like a Alabama Citadel competition.
I don't know what's wrong with Jacksonville.
That was awful. Defensively, I thought they were much better coming into it. Like, the offense had issues, but right from the jump, they had no idea how to defend Josh Allen and the rest of the Bills. Zero. No pass rush. At times, they were rushing 3. I mean, why don't you just, like, the people at the airport with the signals there to do the, okay, here, park right. Why don't you just do that for Josh Allen if you're a Jacksonville linebacker? He goes 2 cones and you just, here, come on in, Josh. Here's your lane right here. That was pathetic all the way around.
Well, they had to go for it on 4th down early in that game, too. One, because they were down. They couldn't get the defense off the field. Then they get the 4th down, and then Trevor Lawrence throws an interception.
Right.
It's like, oh, man, this team, they can't get anything going offensively. And because of that, they leave their defense out there, and they can't get off the damn field.
No, at all. Jamie, Bills the second best team in the AFC now? Again.
Yeah. What's that?
Again.
Yeah, I mean, quite honestly, you'd have to look at it as they're on a crash course with the Chiefs. Once again this season.
And are they better built now? Because last year it's not like they haven't had good games against the Chiefs. They've beaten them at Arrowhead. They've come within 13 seconds of beating them. Last year, they were up at halftime. It's not like Kansas City has completely run Buffalo out of the building.
No.
When they've played.
No. A couple of times Josh Allen actually ended up hurting the team more than anything in some of those games. So we'll see if it's a combination of Josh Allen being a little more mature as a quarterback and also not having that squeaky wheel that's nonstop in Stephon Diggs, who just wanted the ball all the time. Or even if he didn't complain, sometimes as a player you feel compelled, like, I got to get him the ball. And so that's your first look every time. And then you extend the look to see if he can work his way open.
Right. And
then everything else comes crashing down around you. Without that, maybe it's simplifying the game for Josh Allen.
Yeah, maybe.
Stephon Diggs is not a bad player by any means.
No.
Like, he's a great wide receiver.
It's really not about Stephon Diggs.
Right. It's about the idea of Stephon Diggs being in that offense.
Yeah, it's my beef. I don't even have a beef. My thing with this is it's not about Stephon Diggs. Quite honestly, I want a player that thinks he's the best player on the field and wants the ball all the time. I want difference makers. Problem is that if my quarterback isn't there maturity-wise and he keeps looking for the one guy who believes he's the difference maker, then that kind of makes your team easy to play against.
Yeah, very true. All right, so in the other game last night, because there was 2 Monday Night Football games, Jaden Daniels put on an absolute show. I don't know where to start here. I guess we'll give credit to the team that actually won. They being the Washington Commanders 38-33 over the Bengals. Jaden Daniels, again, he put on a show. The rookie quarterback, 21 of 23, 254 yards, 11 yards per attempt average, 2 touchdowns. The deep ball was completely missing in his game the first 2 weeks of the season. It wasn't last night. You saw a couple of deep shots to Terry McLaurin. First time this season that he found the end zone. Daniels also rushed 12 times for 39 yards and got in the end zone again. One of the Bengals defenders earlier in the week called it a college offense that Cliff Kingsbury's running.
That was Cameron Britt, wasn't it?
I think it was Cameron Britt.
And he doubled down, too, after the game.
Well, after the game.
After they lost.
He said he'd eat his words, but then he kind of just still said, like, yeah, they're athletic and all that. Well, dude, if that's a college offense, you got crushed.
You got carved up.
Big time.
I don't know if this is more of a concern. Like we were talking about yesterday, how Jaden Daniels had not got, and Terry McLaurin had not gone on the same page yet. And we were wondering, well, why is that not happening? They figured it out last night.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have more concern about what the heck is wrong with the Bengals right now, because defensively they looked awful.
Yeah.
Like Jaden Daniels had a day doing pretty much whatever he wanted to. He picked up a bunch of 3rd and 1s, third down conversions. He was able to keep the ball and run for those. The Bengals could not get off the field defensively, and they were unable to stop this young quarterback who his first touchdown ever was to an offensive lineman in his career. Like, that's the first ever touchdown he's thrown. And then he throws one to Terry McLaurin. Yeah. Like, this team they looked really good, but I don't know if it's more them or how terrible the Bengals look defensively. Offensively, I think they're starting to figure some things out. Joe Burrow, I know for sure he wishes he had that throwback that he threw to T. Higgins in the back of the end zone. He threw it way too high. Yep. T. Higgins was wide open right off the snap, like he's open now. Get him the ball. That's a touchdown. They end up kicking a field goal there, but they don't look right. Defensively, they don't look right at all.
No, they don't.
I don't know what's going on.
I agree with the offense being better now for the Bengals. That's 2 weeks in a row where Joe Burrow looked like he was healthy. 324 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks. I mean, you're right. There were some throws there. And he did it against a Washington defense that's terrible. But Philadelphia's defense has been hemorrhaging yards too, and Derek Carr couldn't move the ball against them on Sunday. So Joe Burrow did what he needed to do last night. That was all Cincinnati's defense. It was atrocious. And I've been saying for a couple of years now, they keep losing talent. And at some point, that's going to catch up to them. Well, I think it's finally caught up to them. The Bengals have also started off slow in each of the previous X amount of years under Zach Taylor. So maybe they'll figure some things out here.
They better figure it out quick.
But boy, you better figure it out quick, because you're sitting here 0-3.
Yeah, I mentioned the numbers about Trevor Lawrence being 0-8 in his last 8 starts. Joe Burrow has not won a game since he decided to go with the frosted tips.
Yeah.
It's just a bad look on the field.
Yeah. I would probably change that. The Slim Shady 2000 look doesn't look good on him.
No good.
It looks good on a winning quarterback.
Yeah.
When you're
not
winning,
pulling it
nobody
off
cares.
Right.
Look at this guy. Look at him.
Yeah.
He's crazy. He's playing his butt off.
Right. You're losing.
Why
It's
is
like,
his
this guy's
hair
a
like
fool.
that? He's an idiot.
Yep.
It's amazing how that works.
All he's missing is those puka shells around his neck.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
White button-down tee. Or white button-down shirt, puka shells.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You can Google it in there.
I will. There.
We'll get that look going for Jamie at some point.
Yeah. Let's go,
All right.
baby.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. We did win another Pick'em Challenge week.
Let's
We
go,
did
Team
awesome.
Against the
Fastly.
ratio.
Yeah.
3-0, baby. We're the reverse Cincinnati Bengals. That's what we are.
We're the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
We're the Pittsburgh Steelers,
know?
the Seattle Seahawks, the Minnesota Vikings,
Skull.
Kansas City Chiefs. Yeah.
Nice.
If you're wondering who gets shot today,
That'd be me.
That would be Andrew Marsh again. That's
we got
his second week.
Message from, actually multiple message from the Snake Pit on YouTube telling me to pull my pants down and then get shot. I don't think that's how that works, but I will be getting shot in the rear end.
At some point today, you will. Yeah.
Twice.
Oh, that's right.
Because you lost the first week and
One for
this
each
past
cheek.
week.
I was just going to recommend, at least if you're going to do it, hit me on each cheek. That way, like, let's say the left cheek doesn't hurt as much.
Well, I probably prefer one cheek. That way I can, if I need to sit on the other cheek, I could.
I just prefer that you hit the left or the right. Stay out of kicking a field goal, okay? Let's not do that.
Don't split the uprights.
Yeah, let's not do that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, let's go double doink on that one.
Good call.
Yeah.
All right.
Or you can just miss. You know?
No.
it
If you
says
miss, just
right
keep
here on
going.
the
We're
bylaws.
talking about the Bills today. You know.
Right here in the bylaws, unfortunately, says
Until we get it right.
must touch skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at some point, we'll shoot Marshy here at the Airsoft Gun for his punishment for losing another week. Michael McGreevy goes tonight, second start for him with the Redbirds. Is it a foregone conclusion that he's in your rotation next year? Because you got a numbers problem. If so, that's next on 101 ESPN. It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. So the Cardinals play the Colorado Rockies tonight, and no controversy in terms of anything else that the Cardinals have said. That all happened over the weekend. We discussed that yesterday. So if you want to go back and listen to the podcast, some of the thoughts that we had on Wilson Contreras or Nolan Arenado and some of the things about the front office, you can check it out online at 101ESPN.com, your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. But today, we turn the page, and about the only interesting thing about tonight's game is that Michael McGreevy is going to make his second start for the Cardinals. The first time he pitched was very impressive.
Yeah, it was.
He is 2-0 on the year, so he's gotten into other games as well. But he was very impressive in that start. The last day in July, where he went 7 innings, scattered 5 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 3 Ks against the Rangers. And the Rangers are having a down year after winning the World Series, but they still have a ton of pop. So it's not like he was facing the Marlins that day. But Michael McGreevy now, the question becomes, I don't know how much tonight or the rest of the season matters for Michael McGreevy in terms of performance. The question is it a foregone conclusion that he's going to be in the starting rotation next year? Because if so, and Carey, I saw you're kind of like,
Well, Carey still wants Lance Lynn and Gibson back.
I know.
You got a numbers problem if you just assume that Michael McGreevy is a starter next year.
Well, I think it's tough to just assume anything with a young player. I get emotional talking about that.
Of course.
Those young guys,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep. He reminds you of you at that age.
Yeah, that baby face. Yeah, that clearly wasn't me.
No.
No, I think that you can't just assume anything, but he's trending in the right direction. I mean, he had a phenomenal first start. He did a great job coming out of the pen. Pretty much unhittable coming out of the pen. That was a wild performance by him. So you'd think at least he's got a leg up on some of the other younger guys as far as being in the rotation next year. And I do believe that the Cardinals are going to have to move on from at least one of Michaelis, Gibson, or Lance Lynn. I think they're going to have to. I think Steven Matz will stick around because they've been able to just bounce him in and out of the bullpen, and they'll do that for the last year of his contract, whether he likes it or not. I don't think the Cardinals care about that.
Yeah.
But that means that there's going to be a spot available, and I'd like to think that McGreevy could take that spot. Andre Palante, he's been a freaking rock star since being called back up, putting in starter position. So that's a great young player. Maybe Palante is higher than a 4.5. I don't know. Because he keeps pitching these games where you're like, I didn't know he could do that. Oh, he did it again? Oh, in one game he had 7 strikeouts. I didn't know he had that in him either.
Sure.
So maybe he's working his way up. I don't know. I don't care. If he's a 4 or 5, I'm good with that either way. But I think that McGreevy, 1, you have to have some youth in your rotation next year. And 2, he's been the best one. I mean, spot duty, of course. And Graceffo really didn't get much of a run either. But McGreevy's looked impressive.
Yes.
I don't know. You talked about it's a numbers game, and for me, that's essentially the problem that they're running into. So, right now, you assume that Gray, Fetty, and Palante are probably 3 of the 5 starters. But then you still got 4 guys, well, depending on what they decide to do. You got 2 guys for sure, potentially 4 guys. You got Gibson and Lynn who have a option for next year. And then you got Matz and you got Michaelis. Now, Matz you're probably okay with him being in the bullpen. Maybe that's his role. He's kind of worked himself into that role because of the inability to stay healthy. Michaelis is still under contract. I'm not sure for how much. I don't remember what the number is, but he's under contract.
Big, Carey.
Yeah, see, he knows.
I thought it was like 18 or something.
So he's under contract. I don't know, based on his performance, who would be willing to take that off of your hands, even if you were paying the majority of it. So I don't know where you go in terms of Miles Michaelis. So at the end of the day, you're going to have at least 4 guys and maybe 5, and that's not even counting McGreevy. So it is a numbers game. Which guy do you feel, deserves that spot the most? Is it based on who deserves it, or is it based on what you've done throughout the length of your career?
Yeah.
I think that's what it's going to boil down to. I don't have a problem with McGreevy actually. If he's not in the starting rotation, I don't have a problem with him being in the bullpen.
No, Carey, stop.
I do. I don't. I feel like
we don't need another Libertor in the bullpen.
I feel like sometimes younger players can have that role, and we know that injuries happen, right? We know that there's going to be an IL stint for one of those starting pitchers, and then you give him an opportunity. And if he takes over and continues to have success in the starting role, when that guy comes off of the IL, well, now you got another decision to make. But I don't know where he fits or where he slots in because of the numbers game that you talked about.
Yeah. So the contract for Miles Michaelis, $17.6 million next year. So that's what he's owed. So, Carey, excuse me, I get emotional talking about this too.
Yeah, it happens.
So when it looks like you've got a numbers crunch here because of the guys that you want to start in the rotation plus guys that are still around that are making money, the next part of the question becomes, well, what will the Cardinals be comfortable with? What will they actually do? Will they actually eat Steven Matt's contract or simply move him to the bullpen and eat Miles Michaelis' contract? That's really the only thing that matters here. I don't see them acquiring a starter. I don't see them going into free agency and getting another Sonny Gray. I think that what they will do is open up the door for young guys. But will they move on if it's once again apparent that Steven Matz can't stay healthy and Miles Michaelis is no longer effective? And how long is that going to take? Those are the two big questions. Because if you go into next spring and it is Sonny Gray, Eric Fetty, Miles Michaelis, Steven Matz, and a youngster, have you really done anything to give yourself a boost from a starting pitching standpoint? We all like McGreevy, but the two guys, Michaelis and Matz, haven't pitched well in years now.
The best way for the Cardinals to go about this is how the Blues are going about it.
Literally just about to say that.
Competition. Don't come into spring training and use that as your time to get prepared. Your butt better be ready to roll because we're going to take the best 5. I do not care how old you are. I do not care how many games you've started. I do not care what your record, your track record is for your entire career. I want the best 5 starters. I don't care how I get them. That's the best way to go about it. Now, will they do that? They haven't shown the willingness to do that in the past, but if they have real intentions on even trying to win the division next year, that has to be the way you go about it, is competition.
Do you think spring training is somewhat of like a false idea of what a pitcher could be, or even a hitter? Because we've seen that happen before in the past where you're like, oh, this guy looks amazing, and then all of a sudden the season starts and you're like, who in the world is this guy?
It works both ways. Miles Michaelis was horrible in spring training his first year. Mm-hmm. And we all were like, really? Really, Mo? This is you're the smartest guy in the room. And we wound up having a great season. I think he made the All-Star game that year. So it can work both ways. But no, Marsh, directly to your question, the answer to me is no. It's not a reflection on whether or not a guy can pitch. Mm-hmm. You have to be committed to the young guy. You have to be committed to Michael McGreevy doing what he did in the winter, carrying it over to spring, and commit to him being in the rotation, warts and all. They have not done that from a position player standpoint. They've given some guys a little bit of runway, some guys a little bit more runway, some guys no runway, and really are left with, how do you evaluate? Mm-hmm. You have to commit to some of these young guys.
Does anybody in here actually think that Gibson and Lynn won't be back next year? Like one of the two.
To me, you have to move on from
both of them.
Yes.
You believe that will happen?
Yes.
Okay.
Lance Lynn for sure.
I don't even know if I'm not going to make a prediction on that. I don't know, right? I don't know. You have to move on from both.
I think there's a fear that if you move on from that veteran, then you get the young guy and he's not ready, and then, oh crap, what do we do? How do we fix
You
that?
can still find another one of those guys out there.
Here's what you do. You develop the guy and let him pitch.
Don't ask for too much. Okay.
And then, I don't know, let him play.
Thank you.
That's I'm just throwing it out there.
You're young, and these crazy ideas that you have is just ridiculous.
Lance Lynn good this year?
His last 2 outings?
He was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
There you go.
Last 2 outings been good.
I did that for Carey.
Yep.
Can Michael McGreevy pitch 4 innings, load up the bases constantly, and give up a couple of runs per start? If he can, that's what Lance Lynn's doing.
Yeah.
Stop going with the retreads. Just embrace going with some of these young guys.
How are you going to get people to show up if they don't know who's pitching, Anthony?
Wins.
Huh? They know Lance Lynn. He's a grizzled vet.
When did the Cardinals show up to our studios?
He does that all the time.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. What's trending is next.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals take on the Colorado Rockies tonight. 7:40 first pitch. Michael McGreevy will make his second start. He comes into this one with a 0.90 ERA and 7 strikeouts. We just got done talking about Michael McGreevy. If you missed that or if you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page. You'll find all of our full shows there, and it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Monday Night Football, the Bills defeated the Jags 47-10, and the Commanders down the Cincinnati Bengals 38-33. We talked about that earlier today. We'll also get into our NFL Week 3 Pick'em Challenge recap, so stay tuned for that. Tonight on 101 ESPN, you can listen to the Braves take on the Mets. Pregame starts at 5:30. We have What's Trending coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time to find out what's going on in the sports world with What's Trending Now. Brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car and get tickets to the St. Louis Cardinals.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, I don't know if you saw this earlier today, but Brett Favre revealed at a congressional hearing that he has Parkinson's.
Yeah, it's sad. It's a completely sad story. It's sad to hear. Certainly, one of the best to ever play the game football-wise, but obviously a human being and somebody that's, dealing now with a very serious illness. So I was certainly sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it's tough when you see some of these athletes that were so dominant for so long. They get older and they don't move around as good, or they get stuff like this, Parkinson's disease. It's tough. It's tough to see that happen to anybody.
Dan Campbell. Jamie, that's your favorite head coach.
Yes.
I would say.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Biting kneecaps.
Biting kneecaps. This was interesting. His home address was publicly leaked on social media about his daughter's classmate earlier this year. The classmate, and this was after the Lions had lost to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. The classmate drove by their house and was saying mean things. Basically released the home address publicly, and then other people were showing up to his house. They ended up having to move, but I thought that was just such an interesting thing because at the end of the day, these guys are just normal people. Yeah, they're criticized, and you can criticize Dan Campbell for his on-the-field decision-making, but I think at the end of the day, this is just super wrong and flat-out weird.
Yeah.
Super weird.
I have a thought process that I carry with me in life. If your kid messes with my kid, I mess with you, the parent. So if your kid does weird things, like this young man went by his daughter's classmate, went by the house, and hey, let me go by your house and talk to your father or your uncle or your big brother, a gentleman in the home, and we can have a conversation. Because why the hell are you, weird child, showing up to my house playing games? You clearly haven't taught this young man the morals and the values and things that can happen when you show up to someone's house unannounced. So we should have a conversation and understand, because I'm going to show up to your house unannounced, and we can have a conversation that way. I think it's weird.
Yeah, I think that this is just another branch of how social media is not great.
Yes.
You can post whatever you want, and people can jump on board, and then they're Google Earthing the house and finding it, and whatever the hell they're doing. Personally, I would love to see someone walk up to the front door, knock on the door, and confront Dan Campbell in person.
Yeah, let's pull him in. Come inside and talk.
Let's have a conversation.
I'd like to see that one.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens, though. It's happened to me a few times through the course of my career. Not for, people wanting to be mean to me, but they find out you live somewhere, and they come by, and they knock at your door, and most of the time people are pretty cool about it. One time we had this party bus roll up to my house. What? I'm not joking. Party bus rolls up into my house, and two young guys, 20-ish, knock at the front door. I'm like, answer the door, like, hey, it's Jamie Rivers. Yeah, hey, we got a party bus. You want to come with us? And I was like, let me get my shoes.
Yes, I do.
You guys have any bourbon on that bus?
I laughed. I said, no, guys, you're good. And they're like, oh, we'll bring you back. I'm like, no, I appreciate that. But so that was a funny encounter. But
That'd be funny if you stepped out of your house and you were like, what are you guys doing? That cooler's not big enough. I'll grab mine.
But yeah, look, it is what it is. People here in St. Louis are awesome, so I don't have problems like that. But Detroit's a bit of different animal.
Yeah.
For sure, especially Lions fans. It's just a weird thing. I don't like it.
So, I mean, look, there's wacko fans no matter where you live, but you know Detroit fans. I know Detroit fans. Like they're pretty blue collar, lunch pail, down to earth, humble. Don't really bother anybody. Just sounds like it's one big knucklehead.
But when you're so close, you haven't been there before, and all you got to do is kick a damn field goal instead of going for it on fourth down. You're that close, and then you blow the game. Well, I'm not giving these people
still,
a pass.
the guy's a hero, man.
No, of course he is. But I can understand why people are upset now. Those people need to, check themselves, maybe look in the mirror.
Right.
But they're mad. I was mad. I was mad for them.
Well, I was mad too.
Well, I know you were.
I'm not going to be
mad.
Driving by Dan Campbell's house yelling things.
No,
It's
Not like you blew a 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl.
That's a good point.
Now no, never mind.
I thought that team won.
No, I've since seen the whole game. Actually, I saw the whole game.
You
that
did
night.
watch it.
Yeah, no, I watched it that night.
Tough, man.
Guys, believe it or not, I was in denial.
Oh.
Not just a river in Egypt,
Sorry.
Yeah.
That was a good dad joke.
Thank you. You've never heard that before?
No.
Never heard that?
Oh, wow. Nah, I don't think so.
Wow.
I did hear a lot of dad jokes last Wednesday, thanks to King Scott.
Yeah, he had a lot there.
That was not one of them.
No, that wasn't. He did have a lot. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Very talented, that King Scott.
Except for at the Pick'em Challenge.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I literally have no room
Well,
to
as
talk.
a team,
I have no room to talk.
as a team, we're 3-0. They're 0-3. That's what matters.
That's all that matters.
It's a team game.
It is a team game. Damn right it is. All right. Is the second line center position key to the Blues' success this season? That's next on 101 ESPN.
Jamie Rivers back with you here, joined by my good friend Tracy Bibb from the Bibb Agency. Tracy, what is going on in the insurance world these days?
We have a lot of exciting stuff going on in the insurance world for Allstate. A lot of unexciting things for people in other companies, like they're seeing rates go up and they're getting maybe canceled from their companies because of claims that they've had. So a lot of stuff is happening in the insurance world. Us, though, at Allstate, we are getting a new auto product, so we now have that in Missouri. We also have it in Illinois. Totally worth your time to give us a call. Let's see what we can do to look at your auto insurance. But then also, say maybe you have a home policy and you're worried because you had to place a claim on your roof, so you have a new roof, but you also have that claim out there. That's okay. Allstate, we don't mind. That's a great time for us to look at it. We're not going to rate that against you.
Yeah, and Tracy, as you know, I will be giving you a call here probably tomorrow morning to discuss homeowners insurance as the Rivers have bought a new home.
Yeah, I know. And actually, I was supposed to get back to you on that, too.
You're good.
Reminding me.
You're good. You're a busy girl. Everybody else here who's listening, give Tracy a call and the Bib Agency. They're going to do everything they possibly can to make your life better and easier. And it's easy. Just call 314-328-4260. Again, that's 314-328-4260. It's no fib. You're in good hands with my friend Tracy Bibb. Tracy, thank you for everything.
Thanks so much. Go Blues.
It's Fastline on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsham, Anthony Stalter. Speaking of our guy, Jamie Rivers. Let's talk a little Blues hockey, shall we?
Let's go, baby.
Jamie fired up.
Yeah, of course I'm fired up.
Even though it's Carey's sport, this is a big time for you.
I talk to him often. We talked about a few things, so I think he's good to go.
My favorite is when Carey, when I'm asking him something about hockey, and he reaches into his bag and pulls out the little coach's dry erase board.
Yeah.
And then he shows me, how the Blues are forechecking, how they're playing in the defensive zone, how their neutral zone forecheck's going to work.
Yeah.
I appreciate it a lot.
It's unbelievable what Carey can do when he's breaking down these hockey
I appreciate it.
schematics.
Thank you.
Now, Carey, are you more of like the white dry erase marker when you're drawing up these plays, or do you like drawing on the glass itself
The kids are? It get a little messy. The whiteboard is a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
You spray. One thing I learned, you spray a little hand sanitizer on it, cleans it off completely, and you get right back to it. Yeah,
Good.
Yeah.
Easy.
And the
peasy.
arena guys, they don't like when you draw on the glass.
Of course, takes a little time.
Yeah.
Messy.
So The Athletic put together an article discussing.
Oh, great, the Athletic.
This is our guy Jeremy.
Okay, it's fine. It's the only one I'll let into the gates is JR's article. After that, no. Sorry, folks.
Are you
Park's
the
closed.
gatekeeper?
Yeah.
Okay. Why are you yelling at me?
He's passionate about it.
Can I get fired up, okay? Especially when Dom Lecision writes an article.
No, this was at least a paragraph in an article written by our guy JR, using a contributor. So this was about the biggest training camp questions, and it was one for each team. And this is what JR wrote. Who will be the number 2 center? The Blues expect Robert Thomas, who is signed through 2030-31 to be their number one center for the long-term future. But who's their number two? Braden Shen has filled the role in the past, and the Blues have experimented with Pavel Buchnevich there for the past 2 seasons. Dalibor Dvorsky, the number 10 pick in the 2023 draft, will likely have the job one day, but the 24-25 season, the big question, will it be the old reliable in Shen, the alternative in Buchnevich, or the prospect in Dvorsky? Do you, Jamie, agree with that line of thinking? And is the second-line center position one of the big keys to success for the Blues this year?
Well, yeah, I think it is because, you were kind of a one-trick pony last year with Thomas, Kyrou, and Buchnevich, and you just need another line of scoring. You can't have everything on one line to where teams can prepare pretty easily for what they're about to play. It doesn't mean that you're easy to play against.
Right.
Just the planning of the schematics for that game, it's easy. Okay, let's shut down the Thomas line, and we should be pretty good. We should have a good chance to win a hockey game. If you can expand that to where you've got 2 lines now the job gets a little bit tougher for the opposition, and certainly it increases your depth of scoring. So, yeah, it is an important position for the Blues to try and figure out here. And who becomes that guy? It's tough. People are very excited about some of these young players, as they should be. There's a lot of really good players that are on the horizon for the Blues. Is it Dalibor Dvorsky's time to be the number 2 center? I don't know. I think it's early for that. I think the young man has a lot of learning to do. He's a phenomenal talent, but the NHL is the best league in the world, where other players are really good too.
Huh?
Yeah. So it takes some time, especially at the center position. It takes time to get used to the level that you're playing at. From a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, it's a tough game. And recently watching in practices and things like that, like Pavel Buchnevich is getting all the reps at the center position. He's working after practice with Steve Ott on faceoffs. So I think Drew Bannister is committed to, if nothing else, starting the season with Pavel Buchnevich as the second-line center. Where it goes from there, who knows? Because I think that even if Dalibor Dvorsky sticks around, I don't think he starts the season as a centerman. I think if nothing else, they'll experiment with him on the wing, playing alongside Pavel Buchnevich. But I think Buch is going to be your second-line center to start the season.
I asked you this when he signed his contract, that I thought maybe he would ask not to play center at all because he feels like he's better on the wing. And you've talked about it. It's harder playing that center position. Is there a way that maybe Dylan Holloway or Radek Faksa can take that second line role, or Braden Shen, somebody else, so that Pavel Buchnevich can be better for the team on the wing as opposed to being in the center?
Yeah, I think out of all those guys you mentioned, Braden Shen is probably the first option. Okay. I don't know if Holloway's ready to be a centerman in the NHL, even though he was drafted as a centerman. He hasn't really played there.
Gotcha.
And I don't know if he's ready to be a second-line center.
Okay.
He's a good young player and tremendous upside, all that stuff, and maybe he does get to that spot. I think that's a tough one to start him at. And Radek Faksa, to me, he's just not good enough.
Okay.
From a talent and goal creation standpoint. He's a big body. He's a good player, reliable, gritty, not the fleetest of foot.
Okay.
But, he's reliable in his role, which would be in the bottom 6. So I don't think you need to force feed a bottom 6 player up there just because you want another centerman.
Do you want Pavel Buchnevich playing there, though? Because he's able to create more and be more effective for the team. I know it's a necessity, but it's almost like putting a player in a position that, it's good for the team, but it's may not necessarily be the best thing for him individually.
Well, I think that's why he's receptive to it, though, is because he's got the 8-year contract extension. You want to mess?
Sure.
You want to try me at center? My points go down 20 points or 15 points, and
my money doesn't.
My money goes nowhere, and I'm helping the team. I have said this many times. I don't particularly like him at the center ice position. I think he's okay, but he's still he's learning on the fly, which is always a little bit more difficult. I understand the thought process because he is a very reliable player. He's a very smart player. He works extremely hard. In a perfect world, you have a different second-line center, and Pavel Buchnevich is allowed to play on your top line.
Well, you talked about him being receptive to it too. I don't know if he's not open to being a centerman. Maybe he doesn't sign that contract because he wants to go somewhere else and be what essentially he has been in the past. So I think him being that type of player, and we saw that that team game from him last year when Drew Bannister sat him, and he was very receptive to that, like being essentially accountable for his play. And so I think he is not only important for the on-ice product, but for the off-ice product. I mean, I think that says a lot about him being receptive to taking that role, because that is a huge role for this team. And if he can be a great player this season, I think he'll go a long way for the Blues.
Yeah, and I agree. He is a great player. He's a character guy. He's a leader in that locker room. And, yeah, it spoke volumes last year when Drew Bannister benched him for the entire third period, and Pavel Buchnevich said, yeah, I sucked. Basically, yeah, he made the right call. And I sat there and, took my punishment like a true professional should, and came back the next game and played great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That speaks volumes to what he is as a player. And that also shows you that the culture of that locker room is headed in the right direction. Mm-hmm. When you've got your top players, including Thomas and Kyrou last year, everybody had a little turn on the bench from time to time, and nobody said a word. There was no spitting back at the coach. There was no, pissiness the next day. They went back to work the way they should, and that, to me, shows me that this team is headed in the right direction from an on-ice product, but also in the locker room with creating that culture.
Well said. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. All right, Marsh, you ready?
Oh, we're doing it now?
Yeah.
All right, that's
Anthony,
fine.
you want it bad, don't you?
He wants it real bad.
Listen, we're off a little early tonight. Okay, because
you heard about Marsh having to drop his pants, and now he's all fired up.
We've got the Braves Mets pregame starting at 5:30. Big series there.
I don't blame you.
We're off a little early.
Pants are staying on. Shorts, I have shorts on.
So why don't we shoot Marsh with the airsoft gun and go over our NFL Week 3 Pick'em recap. Who won, who lost, most regretful pick, biggest upset, all that fun stuff. That's next on 101 ESPN.
ESPN.
Refreshed by Bud Light.
Well, you sure know how to pick them.
Your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. So we, the Fast Lane, are now up 3-0 on the Riz Show.
Proud of you guys.
In the Fast Lane Pick'em Challenge, presented and refreshed by Bud Light. Nice job, guys.
Yeah.
Yep, good job.
I'm on to week 4.
I like that, too.
You know what? I love that mentality. Yeah, great thought.
Someone once told me, Carey, that if you're looking in the rear view mirror, you can't see out the front window.
This is true.
So why worry about what you did yesterday? It's about what you're doing right now.
Yep.
So the standings from last week. Carey Davis leads everybody, both shows, with a 9 spot. Nice job, Carey with 9. I had 8. Jamie Rivers had 8. Brandon Kiley had 8. Our guy, Andrew Marsh, 7. So Marsh will be shot not once but twice today with the airsoft gun as part of the weekly punishment. He was shot in week 1. It adds up, so unfortunately 2 for him today. But I will say this. Our lowest guy, Marshy, equaled their highest person. Because Riz had 7, Moon 6, Rafe 6er. King Scott, 6 spot. Learn, dead last was 6. So she faced the punishment today. Yeah. All right, guys, before we get to the business at hand with Marsh's rear end, most regretful pick. Marsh, I think it's only appropriate we start with you.
My most regretful pick.
The one you regret the most.
Probably the Bears and Indianapolis Colts game. I went with the Bears in that one. I thought that maybe that offense would find something, and they did. They looked a lot better than they did in week 2, but yeah, probably that one. A lot of the games this week were a lot like week 2. Like you just, I don't know, just kind of a lot of upsets and just couldn't really find my footing this week.
So you didn't necessarily have a major regret, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think I also picked the Chargers over the Steelers. Looking back, not a great pick.
Yeah.
Here we go. I think that was probably the 2 that I really regret. Other than that, I don't know.
Carey?
Well,
you had a nice week. So
I had an okay week. The one that I probably shouldn't have gone with, I went with the Arizona Cardinals over the Lions. Although they did have a pick 6 called back that was a touchdown that wasn't a touchdown. That one was a difficult one. I think we all probably, who thought that the Panthers would do what they did?
Nobody.
Well, no, hold on. We did say last week that game could be an upset, but we didn't have the cojones to actually make the pick.
We went with the coward. Marsh, yes. You and I went with the coward route. We said, the Panthers could look better under Andy Dalton. Are you picking them? Nope. But,
Nope.
Yeah. Jamie Rivers, most regretful pick.
Yeah, probably. I can't say I regret it, but in hindsight now, I picked the Texans over the Vikings. I thought the Vikings were smoke and mirrors. And as I made that pick, in my head, I kept thinking to myself, there's no way Sam Darnold can do this again.
Right.
And then in the same breath, I'd be like, man, but that head coach is really good.
Yeah.
There's no way he can do this. But Kevin O'Connell's really good. So then I went with C.J. Stroud and the Texans. I thought, I'm going to go with the shiny new toy. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. Right.
Nope, not so much.
We all did that, thoe.
Yeah.
I don't blame you.
We did.
Okay. I just picked the Texans because I'm probably going to do the same thing next week. I'll pick the Packers. I don't want any bad juju coming my way for the Vikings.
So you're sacrificing getting shot in the ass for the Vikings?
Yes.
It's commendable.
But Marshy, where I go a little sideways here is you're also sacrificing the good of the team.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I think that this week could be.
Because I think it'll even out.
It'll even out.
At some point.
Not if he never picks the Vikings.
Well, it depends on the matchup.
He'll pick the Vikings at some point.
You don't know that. Have you seen the picks he's made?
I have, but don't listen to him.
Don't pick him.
Don't listen to him. He's going to be fine.
Hey, it's tough love in this locker room.
Hold up.
That's it.
I told you this, Anthony, before the show started. You can't have everything. Right now, I'm currently 3-0 and in first place in our 101 ESPN Fantasy Football League. I can't have both things. I can't have three things going for me.
No.
I can't have the Vikings 3-0, be really good in the Pick'em Challenge, and be one of the better teams in the Fantasy Football League. I just can't have all three.
And be the handsome devil that you are.
Well, I didn't mention that.
You forgot that.
You thought about it, though.
You were being very modest.
He thought about it. You could see it. He almost said, he was like, I should go down a different path here.
My most regretful pick, I did sit there when Minnesota was up big, Jamie, and I did the same thing as you. Like, I probably should have seen that coming.
Yeah, I didn't.
With the way that Brian Flores has been playing. The other regret that I had was I took Tennessee over Green Bay. Because Will Levis, not Will Levis, but
you took
I took Tennessee.
Tennessee Titans?
Yeah, because Malik Willis.
He's so wrong.
Have you not seen Will Levis play football?
I don't care how bad. I don't care how
Malik
bad.
Willis play football?
Yeah, that's why I would have picked him. I'm picking one of the two. I think the Titans chose wrong. What do you think?
I went with the lesser of two evils, too. I was like, there's no way he can be as bad as Will Levis.
Will Levis is so bad.
He picked against your Steelers, which is worse.
He does it. That's fine. And then there was reports that Jordan Love might actually, he was a game time decision. So
yeah, and as soon as I realized it was going to be the Malik Willis show, I went with the Titans at home. Look, and everybody else went with the regrets. I throw out my regret and you pile on.
Well, I was confused. The Titans?
Everybody else is like, well, I don't know if I have a regret. I actually open up about it.
I did have a regret. I chose the Cardinals over the Lions.
Your lucky rule number one is nobody's safe.
It is.
But I'm just telling you right now, I'm pissed. All right. How'd you guys do with the lock of the week? Mine was the Bucks.
Wow.
I remember what mine was.
Was not a lock.
It was not a lock.
I think we all picked that game.
We did, of course.
Did we?
Yes.
Yeah, we might
that
have.
should have been the lock.
I actually think I locked on the Raiders. Because I thought,
That's right, you did. Either way, we come up short on that one. Yeah. The matchup that kept you up at night. Did you wind up hitting it?
yes, that was Ravens-Cowboys. I was like,
I think I went
Einhorn,
Ravens.
Finkel, Einhorn.
Cowboys in that one. No, I went Houston, Minnesota. That was the one I'm like, I'll probably flip this 9 times. I left it at Houston, and again,
I don't think I can't remember what mine was. It was probably the one that I didn't hit, the Cardinals and the Lions.
Yeah, fair enough.
Mine was Bears, Colts.
Bears, Colts. Okay. Marsh, you look like, as Willie's pointed out in the snake pit, y'all are really anxious for Marshy to pull his pants down. Marshy has looked anxious this entire segment. So
He's ready to roll.
Let's hope Carey doesn't clip a calf in this one. Just walk it off, Marshy.
Did you wear thicker pants than the one you did last time 2 weeks ago?
Of course not.
Watch out.
Because you wore some really tight shorts last time.
It's going to be bad.
Okay. All right.
What could go wrong with me back here?
No, everything.
A lot.
Farther away this time.
All right. Marsh, would you like a countdown? Again, Marsh.
Just a little bit. Thank you,
Oh,
sir.
there it is.
Marsh has got his punishment here.
2,
That's the worst.
3, 2, 1.
You got to turn it up a little bit.
I fired it once. Here. If not, we may have to allow Marsh to fix the gun to then shoot him.
That's
Which
some
is
sick
always-
stuff, too.
Which is always tough.
By the way, fix the gun we're going to shoot you with.
Yeah. Airsoft.
2, 1.
Right in the back. You hit him in the lower back, Carey. Holy smokes. You hit him in the spine.
Marshy, you better put it. Marshy, put that helmet on.
I got another one.
You got 2. I'm sorry.
I ain't lower this time.
I was
spine
joking about
shot.
clipping him in the calf, but I didn't know you wanted him between the shoulder blades.
Again, this is an airsoft gun for punishment for Marsh.
I ain't gonna
Airsoft.
fit on that.
Just bend over just a little bit.
Yeah,
Whoa.
just a little bit. Marsh putting on the
Marsh.
helmet. Not a bad idea. Here we go. Number 2.
Oh,
No,
it's the mental warfare again.
it's the worst.
That will clip the top.
There's always like a half of like a reaction there, like a split second where it's like,
Clip the top of the buns.
all right.
Oh,
Marsh.
Atlanta.
As we like to tell you here, This hurts us more than it hurts you.
Oh,
Get that
man.
helmet on.
You actually got it on.
How did it get...
I think I have a smaller head.
He's got a smaller head.
The three cavemen here, I went to put on, I looked like a thimble on my
I
head.
had the Patrick Mahomes. I had it tilted up.
This was Anthony last week.
Yep. Yes, it was. Here we go. Doing the Patrick Mahomes. All right, Marsh, you're done. There you go.
We're done. We're good.
Hey, that's the
until
last
next week,
time-
I guess.
That's the last time we want to see you punished for this.
Me
okay?
too.
It's the last time. Let's get
man.
BK in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's get BK in here. Yeah.
Oh,
You don't
man.
want BK to get shot. BK is holding his own. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, he's been good.
Yeah, let's not mess with him, guys, because if it goes the other way, it could go really bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's just let that be.
But Jamie, if I may, I think BK next week, CD the next week, then back to Marsh, then we go to BK, then we go to CD. And we'll just
Let's not do
even
that.
this thing out.
Hey, let the man speak.
Thank you. We'll just even this out. All right? That's even between you three.
I'll pass.
You guys will be great.
You guys will
I've
be
got my punishment.
great.
Marcy's going to shoot you next time. You're going to get it between the shoulder blades.
No, right?
Oh, man.
I apologize. I didn't mean to aim that high. I was fiddling with the gun.
Oh,
and
man.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
Be careful when you do that.
That one's tough.
You know what that hurt? That hurt like you ever get like a pimple on your lower back and you don't know it's there, and then you like scratch your back and you're like, oh, you know what I'm talking about?
I
That's
do.
what
I
that felt like.
It's also like my dad. When I was a kid, my brother and I'd be outside playing street hockey or football. It was inevitable that we ended up in some kind of a fight, yelling match, whatever. And we had one door, little side door to the house. My dad would open that door and stand there with his back on the door, and you had to get by him to get in the house. And, the first few times you walk by and you whap right in the butt. Whap! So now you're like your strategy, you're like coming up slow, you're like a couple fast steps, a couple shimmy shakes. And then as you'd run by, he didn't care about his aim at that point. He's
Whatever
like, I
he
just
hit,
want to
he
get a
hit.
piece of you. So it'd be whap, lower back. Next time I walk that box slow, I'm like, just make sure you hit the butt this time.
I'll go slow, Dad.
Just hit the right
butt.
spot, please.
Has Mizzou played themselves into a must-win every game scenario? That's next on 101 ESPN.
For all you guys out there that aren't feeling quite like you used to, maybe you're not performing well at work. Maybe things aren't going well at home. Maybe things aren't going well in the bedroom. You're probably low on testosterone, and our friends over at Mentality, they're going to take great care of you. Get into the South County location or the Chesterfield location. Sit down with the board-certified physicians. Anthony and I did that, and then they go and they do a full blood panel, and Anthony, that's where they find out exactly what's going on.
Yeah, that's actually where your journey kind of starts, really, because if you are low on testosterone or some of the other vitamins that they test for, and you do wind up going on their program, Jamie, I don't know how quickly it was for you, but I remember feeling within weeks when I was doing some yard work, I'm like, all right, well, the lawn's mowed and all that stuff. I guess I should call it a day. Well, you know what? I could chop down some of these trees that are out front
chopped
here.
down all your neighbors' trees.
I chopped down all the neighbors' trees and all. They were not happy, but when I fought them, I had the strength of 10 bulls, because of Mentality. So they didn't mess with me after that. But no, when it comes to Mentality, the program's going to help in a lot of areas, like Jamie suggested. Maybe you're feeling irritable. Maybe you're not low on energy, but you're irritable all the time, or like you got brain fog, or you're not peak performance at work. Trust us on this. Jamie and I go down there. I went down there today, South County location. I know Jamie goes in the Chesterfield location. Angel's fantastic. Ask for her. Tell them Jamie and Anthony sent you in. Angel was telling me today. She's like, yeah, I get guys coming in all the time. Like, hey, I heard you on the radio. Did they actually go in? Angel says, yeah. Yeah, they come in. We're on the program. You'll love that as well. Again, two locations. Jamie, tell them about the website.
Yeah, you visit Mentality at lowtusa.com. Again, that's lowtusa.com.
VSN on 101 ESPN. Do you guys think that Mizzou has played themselves into a must-win every game scenario from here on out, based on the fact they struggled with Vanderbilt? They had their issues at least a little bit with Boston College. Or do you think, you know what, they could still probably suffer a loss at some point against a quality opponent and be fine?
Yeah. Going into that game against Vanderbilt, I would have said they're fine with a loss. Coming out of that game and dropping from 7th to 11th, I don't think you can lose a game.
Yeah.
Because if this is what they think of your team, if this is what they think of your undefeated team, that you're at 6th, you won a game, you dropped to 7th, you won a game, and you dropped to 11th, this means they're basically looking to weed you out. Mm-hmm. They don't believe in you. They think you're smoke and mirrors, and they're not trusting that you're a playoff type team. Mm-hmm. So if you lose one, if they lose one, they might be out of the top 25.
Well, I think
I could see that.
And then good luck. Good luck climbing back in.
Depends on who they lose to. If they lose to Texas A&M this week, who they're also a top 25 team, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, they're 24.
Yeah. I don't think they'll be out of the top 25 with that loss, but you're putting yourself in a position where the SEC championship game, you're not going to be the SEC champion. Like you could potentially play yourself out of the automatic bid, right, and not have that chance to be one of the 4 or 5 teams that get that automatic bid. Which, if you're the Missouri Tigers, you don't want to do that. But I don't know if that puts them completely out, because they still have a chance to make it up when they play Alabama, when they play Oklahoma. Like, the South Carolina team might be ranked by the time they get to them. That team has been playing pretty well. Like, you still have a chance to right some things if you take a loss. Now, the later you go, if you lose back-to-back, if you lose to Alabama and Oklahoma, forget about it.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing right now. A&M's 24th. Alabama is 4th. And where is Oklahoma? They're somewhere in the
teens. 21.
21.
Yeah. After losing to Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they got a quarterback issue right now. I don't believe Arnold is going to be starting anymore, and they have that true freshman now. So I don't know.
Which could be a great thing or a bad thing. You never know.
Yeah.
I do think Mizzou is in must-win territory. This is the drawback to having a softer schedule. Yeah, you face softer opponents. You can compile the wins. It's one of the reasons why we all felt pretty good about Mizzou coming into the year as a playoff team. They won't really be tested, we said, until much deeper into the season. As it turns out, they were tested in week 3, and then again in week 4. Your first conference game against one of the lowest rated teams in the conference year after year drug you to double overtime on your field. So the trade-off now is you have to be perfect. Now, if they compile some huge wins, maybe maybe the committee will let you off with one loss. But with the way that college football is right now, with parity, if you don't have a couple of massive wins to set you apart, you could be dealing with some undefeated teams here that bump you out. So I do think Mizzou is in must-win territory here. And unfortunately, they haven't looked like a team that can run the table. That's the other thing. We can talk about, you got to just win out now. But that did not look like an unbeaten team over the weekend. That did not look like a top 10 team. I don't think they look like a top 15 team.
I do think, though, them having the bye this week, that definitely helps. They can regroup, reset, and get back to what we think they should be. And maybe they can with the bye, but, I mean, you got to get going here. Because they're starting to look like they did against Middle Tennessee last year.
Yes, and they got and then they to their credit going. they got playing well. But we'll go around. Let's go around the room here. What's your biggest concern right now? Like, what's an area of concern for you?
I don't think their passing game is all that great so far this year. I mean, the running game's been fine. I thought they would be in way worse shape without Cody Schrader in the backfield, but Noel has done a great job behind Brady Cook.
He's been great.
He's been awesome. The passing game for me has just been meh. Mm-hmm. Like, you're not getting any big chunk plays. The best play I've seen in the last couple of games was the pass in overtime to Luther Bird.
I agree.
That was a great play. How he's wide open. Like Carey said, the best player on the field. You probably make sure somebody's watching him. Yeah. But you didn't see...
Vanderbilt got Vanderbilt.
Yeah, they did. Mm-hmm. But I haven't seen consistent passing plays like that. So for me, the passing game is what's got me a little worried.
For me, it's probably managing expectations. I think when you are a team that has not consistently been ranked as high as they are this year, and understanding that every week now, like it's one thing when you are the team that is hunting the other team, you're trying to track down other teams. Now you're the hunted. Like people are coming after you, and how do you manage those expectations week after week? I think that may be because a Vanderbilt team last year playing against Mizzou at this time, you wouldn't have had that game. Mizzou would have blew them out of the water. But you're getting everyone's best shot now in comparison to, a year or two ago where they look at you and say, oh, it's just Mizzou. Same thing with Illinois. Like, it's just Illinois. But when you are a team that is ranked in the top 10, ranked in the top, 7, and now people are looking like, oh, this is a chance. We got a chance to beat one of the best teams in the country. And now that's how they're looking at you. I think that's one of the things that they're going to have to get past, like managing those expectations from being a team that was hunting other teams to now that a team that is being hunted every single week by teams.
Yeah, I agree.
For me, it's the slow starts. You cannot have a slow start against a team. I'll even say Texas A&M. You can't have that against Alabama. You cannot have that against Oklahoma. The bigger teams that you play, you cannot start off slow because those better teams will bury you by halftime. And then the game's over. Mm-hmm. You cannot have those slow starts. We talk about the Dallas Cowboys. They can't play well when they're losing.
Right.
They need to get out to a lead. I think Mizzou, they're one of those teams. They need to get out to an early lead. We have not seen that these past 2 weeks, but give them credit. They found their way back into games. Granted, they're playing okay teams. Boston College, they were ranked at the time.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, not so much, but they cannot get behind the 8 ball. They can't. Otherwise, they're going to get buried late in the season.
So my thing is just the attention to detail. I was talking about this a little bit yesterday. Defensively, they got guys out of position. They got guys that, from a run fit standpoint, they're way out of position. How many breakdowns have we seen the last 2 weeks when it comes to their secondary? Guys, the safeties either biting on a route in front of them or not staying back, or a corner not being in position. I know they have a good defense. I know it's very athletic. I know that the secondary should be fine, but I've seen way too many undisciplined plays. Mm-hmm. And then offensively, I worry about the lack of power. Noel's been great. The running game's been sound, but they've had a lot of third and shorts or fourth and shorts that they have not converted on. Brady Cook doesn't, he doesn't look special. He also, I don't think, has been quite the game manager I thought he was going to be. So I think that's a little bit of an area of concern. And I do think, again, going back to the short yardage, I think Eli Drinkowitz did not go for it in that spot because he was worried about getting stuffed again. Yeah. There was many times throughout that game where they failed in short yardage situations. So I do worry about the lack of power because when you are up, Marsh, you could get up and you have that power game, you're good. If not, you're allowing teams to get back into it. And if you're all over the place defensively, teams with any sort of motion is going to kill you. Mm-hmm. They're going to get you out. Tennessee's going to kill you. Oklahoma or whoever else is on the schedule, they'll get you out of position and they'll destroy you. So that's what concerns me right now.
Real quick, we got a text from the 314. Wow, is it Monday? Because this sounds like overreaction Monday completely. All Missouri has to do is go play decent football. They're probably going to win every game except for Alabama. We're going to be 11-1, and they're going to make the college football playoff because there's not going to be 12 undefeated teams come at the end of the season. They'll be fine. Calm down.
Okay. It's Fascinating on 101 ESPN. Thank you very much for that text. Are you sold? 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. Text in your Are You Sold statement. We'll play it next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Colorado Rockies tonight on the road. Michael McGreevy making his second start for the Redbirds. 7:40 first pitch. Here's some roster updates for you. Victor Scott II has been recalled from Memphis. Luken Baker has been placed on the paternity list. We'll probably have our lineup game coming out soon, so we'll play that. Stay tuned for that. Coming up next, though, we have Are You Sold? So if you have an Are You Sold statement, send it to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Are You Sold? Coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Time to play Are You Sold here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter. If you have a Are You Sold statement that you want to send to the Air Comfort Service text line, we hope you do. 314-399-9646. Marsh, go.
All right, let's start off with the 636. Are you sold that the Cincinnati Bengals won't make the playoffs?
No, I'm not quite sold because they have started slow in the past and have figured it out by October. And we're all talking about them like, oh, look at you. You did it to us again. You Cincinnati Bengals. You fooled us.
Yeah,
It looks rough, but
I'm not sold on it either. I mean, 7 teams are going to make it out of the AFC. It's going to be one in the AFC South the way they play. They've not been really good. Probably one in the AFC West.
So they dropped the year that they went to Kansas City and lost in the AFC title game. They lost their first 2 games and 3 of their first 5.
Yeah, they'll be fine.
In 2001, when they went to the Super Bowl, they started off pretty well. They won 3 of their first 5. So, I don't know. I'm going to say no, I'm not sold that they're going to miss the playoffs.
Same here.
Yeah. Deal.
Next one comes from the Waterboy. Are you sold the next Cardinals manager is already on the staff or in the minor league system?
So we're anticipating Ollie's not here anymore?
Well, whenever he's not here anymore.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if we were counting him.
Yeah, like as an option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think we're counting him as an option. If they were to move on.
Yeah.
I think Ollie stays.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'll say yes.
When they move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they'll probably hire
Whenever
from
that
within.
is.
That's what they like to do. So I'll just
Well,
go
they
with
had
them.
one of their guys, I can't remember his name now, was minor league manager of the year in Springfield.
Oh, yeah.
And Quinn Matthews apparently was awarded the minor league pitcher of the year.
Bring him up.
It's the next stop for him.
Let him pitch.
Where's Jose Akendo?
I don't know.
Secret weapon?
Yeah.
It's usually in
Memphis?
no, Jupiter.
Okay.
He's a consultant during spring training. Typically, he has been. Now, where's Yachty? I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't.
He'll be around.
I heard a little rumor that perhaps he could be selling
His basketball
his
team?
basketball
Yeah.
team.
Really? Well, that would mean he'd have more time.
Oh, he'll be back for
Anthony,
sure.
don't get any crazy
For other
thoughts here.
things to do in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
All right, from the 424, are you sold that the fast lane is overreacting on Mizzou?
No.
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 I think it's a
I
perfect
can't-
reaction.
Let me ask you this. Like, just because a team won, we can't evaluate them? All wins are created equal? All losses are created
so.
equal?
Anthony,
I guess in the record, in the record books.
take it from the guy that is accused of being anti-Mizzou. No,
Okay.
you cannot. You cannot disagree with the Missouri Tigers in any facet, form, or fashion here in St. Louis. How dare you
All right.
speak truth about what you saw in terms of how well or how poorly you thought they played?
So it's my opinion. It doesn't matter.
Hell no.
Oh, now you get it.
All right. All right.
Like when you're talking about the Mizzou Tigers?
So you just have to say nice things about the Mizzou Tigers
Yep.
at all times, and
Unless
you'll
you
be
get it.
good.
But then unless they lose, and then when you lose, you better pile on, or you're an idiot for not piling on.
There you go. Take it from the guy. Take
So
it from
really
me.
any fan base.
It's extremes.
Exactly.
I just think it's ridiculous because, Carey, you've paid tuition there. Jamie's paid tuition there. I've been to 2 games and bought a T-shirt. Like, we are critiquing our own team.
Right.
Yeah, that's my team.
I went there once.
Those are my Tigers.
You went there once?
Carey, your Tigers too.
I saw Drew Lock's first game.
I mean, you're
That
a
makes you
fan,
half
too.
Tiger.
Thank you.
It does.
I saw Drew Lock's first home game. I should say home game. I saw Steve Spurrier's last collegiate game.
Okay.
And I watched Debo Samuel play that day.
You are a fan.
I'm a Mizzou guy. Fire up Mizzou, you know?
Yeah. They say, go Tiger.
Fire up Miz.
That's a different
Fire up
Tiger.
Miz.
No, it's a Tiger. Go Tiger.
Les Mizra.
I wonder where you're going to land that one.
Have you seen that documentary?
I've heard about it.
You've heard about it?
Yeah, it's a long watch. It's got
It is
a lot
weird
of songs.
that people, like, since it's a documentary based on true story, that they would just sing the entire time. Like, do people just not talk anymore? What's going on with that?
You know, if I can offer something,
Of course.
about myself to you guys, there's nothing in this world that drives me more insane
Dave Matthews Band?
than Dave Matthews Band. There is nothing that is equal to that. I mean, really gets my blood boiling than a musical.
Really?
Why? I hate it. I hate it because I just sit there and I wait for them to
talk?
break into songs again. You know, I feel like I get a reprieve when they're not singing. But then they're out somewhere eating ice cream, and then all of a sudden everybody's on the table and they're dancing and they're singing, and everybody knows the dance steps, and nobody's really talking about the fact that, you know, maybe I just wanted to go and eat some ice cream and not
talk about
participate in a musical. Get off the damn table. I'm trying to enjoy my ice cream.
Well, I know what I'm getting you for Christmas, and that would be 2 tickets to the Fox Theater.
I've been there. Chris and I have gone on many a date to the Fox.
And seen a musical?
Several. I
You
saw
despise
Wicked.
it. Wicked was good. You didn't like Wicked? Wicked was
I enjoyed the creativity at the end.
Well, don't spoil it now. There's a movie coming out.
Okay. Yeah. Droid FX and the Snake, but he goes, I'm with you, Stalter. He knows.
You're getting a lot of people agreeing with you on the
Like, come
text
on.
line. Like, a lot of people don't like musicals.
I can't stand it.
Thank
Really?
you.
Can't stand it.
I like musicals.
They drive me insane.
I don't mind songs in a movie.
talented.
But like nothing but singing, like no.
They talk. And then they sing their emotions. You got to understand, like,
They
the
sing
singing.
about regular things.
That's the emotions that they're feeling in the moment. It brings about song and dance. It
If
makes
I want
people.
song, I'll put on an album, not a movie.
You're kind of getting the best of both worlds, Jamie.
No, you're not.
Yeah, you are.
They're never any good, the songs, either.
Right. If the songs are like somewhat catchy, fine. Like Hugh Gisoli, he goes, the movie Greatest Showman is good. I actually saw that one. It wasn't bad. Some of the songs are pretty good. Lively, right? But when you're just breaking into song and dance because you're out on the streets and it's raining, get out of here.
Now, Grease was a great movie. You've never seen it.
I have seen Grease. I have. John Travolta.
Yeah. Olivia Newton-John.
Yep. They're
She's
racing.
got those leather pants on.
T-birds.
Boy, can she sing.
Sure.
Listen, you guys.
What's his name? Johnny
John Travolta.
DeSico. What's his name in the movie?
Danny.
Danny Dimes.
Danny Dimes. I don't think that's him.
Yeah, I've seen it. Not a fan.
Danny, what is his last name? Starts with a C. Like Cuso
I
or
can't believe I can't
Danny
remember this.
Russo.
No, I don't think it's that.
Danny.
Danny Jones.
Come on.
I don't know who you guys are talking
Davy
about.
Crockett.
I wasn't listening. I was looking up musicals. Dreamgirls is a good one.
Danny Zuko.
Zuko. That's what
Danny
it
Zuko.
is.
I had to look it up. I didn't remember.
That's it.
They
Danny.
put it Zuko. They put it
Yeah,
in the chat.
Zuko.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's a good
I
one.
don't know who that is.
You've never seen it?
Never seen Grease?
Sure I have.
Yeah.
Don't remember
You're
it.
not missing it.
Why?
Probably not my, you know.
What do you mean?
You know.
Too much Creed?
What is it, Carey?
I just haven't seen it. When year did Grease come out?
1978.
Yeah, I wasn't born, so that's why I haven't seen it.
No, Carey.
Nah, I wasn't born.
I wasn't born either.
Really?
And I have seen it.
Wow, I don't recall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you like musicals, and it sounds like you do, maybe you'll enjoy that one.
I think
Isn't
you'd
that with
actually
John
like it.
Travolta?
Yeah, I think you'd actually like it. It's not a bad movie.
It's bad.
No, it's not.
It's really bad.
You're such a Gisoli.
You're such a huge Asoli.
Anthony, you're from Rochester, New York.
Yeah, sure.
There's a high school up there called the Grease Lightning.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, fun fact for everybody.
fun-
And
yeah,
you
fun
knew that, though. You're from Rochester.
Absolutely, yeah. Well, I told you that, Marsh. You know?
Of course.
Yeah. All right, it's the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Do we have a lineup out yet? Still checking?
Let's see here.
No lineup. Okay.
Not yet.
All righty. Hey, the Blues are a playoff team if this player takes the next step. Who is that player? That's next on 101 ESPN. Jamie Rivers, Anthony Stalter, and one thing that we love when Stewie, we get Stewie on the phone, one thing we love to talk about is the bagel loan and when is a great time to refi. Stewie, talk to us about your pride and joy, the bagel loan.
Anthony, now is the time to refi. If you have a rate in the upper sixes, even sevens, refinance now, no closing costs. They're not rolled in, no title fees, no lender fee, no pizza delivery fee, nothing. It's the big bagel. Bagel looks like a zero, so you pay nothing. This is a big advantage. You go to other lenders, you have to pay $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and more to go ahead and refinance your loan. It doesn't make sense because it's going to take you 4 or 5 years to recover the cost and the savings that you're doing monthly. This way, you recognize savings right away. And you know what? If rates go down in 6 months, you can redo it again. You haven't lost a thing.
That's why you give Stewie a call on his personal cell phone number. Text him, whatever it is. Any question that you have regarding refinancing or if you're purchasing a home or just anything to do with the Federal Reserve or what's going on, Stewie's your guy, and that number is easy to remember. It's 314-324-4440.
Again, 314-324-4440.
Again, call, text, tell him that you heard him on 101 ESPN. He's going to do everything he can to help you. And if you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can they do?
Well, remember you talking about the bagel loan? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Just Google the bagel loan. Stewie, thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
NMLS number 226715.
ESPN, Andrew Marsh, Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. The Blues are a playoff team if this player takes the next step. Jamie, who's that player for you? Or do you want to go last?
You know what? Let's play that game. It's fun to go last.
All right.
Because then I get to hear your opinions without tainting the witness, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. Don't want to taint that witness.
Yeah.
Carey, you're the hockey guy.
I'm going to say Robert Thomas. If he's a
You want him to take another step.
Another step. Like an all-star caliber player, 100 points. Like, okay, 90 points. 90 to 95 point scorer. Leading the team in assists, scoring as well. If he takes that step, I think the Blues, because we've talked about the center position. Obviously, he's the first line center, but yeah, playing a 200-foot game, playing both ends, doing really well. Him.
Okay.
That's my guy.
So next step for me, I'd probably say Jordan Kyrou, but I kind of want to flip this. I have two players in mind. And so this player is a veteran player, but I think if this player that I'm about to say gets back to the player that we have become accustomed to, we know what he can bring.
Braden Shen.
Yep.
Is he a difference maker?
Hockey guy.
He's the
Clear at camp.
the biggest difference maker?
Go ahead,
you
Marsh.
go last.
I just wanted to
that
guess.
was it.
That was it.
You did
All
a
right.
great job.
Thank you.
That was my guy.
Appreciate
You got the same guy, Anthony?
No. Did you have a younger guy?
I said Jordan Kyrou.
Oh, the Kyrou guy. Yeah. For me, guys, when it comes to taking that next big step, I don't know if there's somebody within the defense that needs to kind of like take that next step. Because Justin Falk is who he is. Colin Parayko is who he is. I think the problem that we have sometimes, not we, Jamie, but, some people are like, hey, they want more out of Colin Parayko, is you just don't appreciate what he is. And what he is very good. I don't think that Jordan Binnington needs to take that next step. So when you got to go through the veterans, it's tough. I think the obvious one is Jordan Kyrou. But if he doesn't take that step defensively and be a full 200-foot player, can he take that next step? My guy's Jake Neighbors, because the upside is sky high. The ceiling is sky high. If he winds up taking that next step on that second line, centered by the Booch and a steady player in Brandon Saad, now you got two lines that you can roll that you feel great about, plus an identity line. I think really on the third, not necessarily the fourth, but maybe Jamie, you disagree with that. And I think that the first two line, the forward lines, the top six that's a good punch.
Yeah, so guys, well done, by the way. All of them really good answers.
Thank you.
I don't have anything that I'm sitting here going, what is he talking about? No, really good answers. Carey, let's start with you.
Okay.
Robert Thomas, yeah.
I'd like to be graded. This is fun.
Well, I'm not going to grade you.
No, you should. Give us a grade. Give us a grade.
Yeah.
So, Carey, I'll give you an A.
Hey.
All right.
Carey Davis.
Now, is that like an A as in the letter, or is an A like you're a Canadian?
Both.
Gotcha.
I give him an A. A.
A.
Yeah. No, because Robert Thomas, look, he has to continue to take those next steps. To be an elite number one center, you got to be looking at 90 to 100 points per season. So, yes, him taking the next steps will certainly continue to help the team. Do I think that he is the biggest reason? No, I don't think he's the biggest reason, but he is going to be. He should be your top scorer either way. Marshy, you picked two. You overachiever. Braden Shen, yeah, I think that's important because what Braden Shen can do is he can add to that depth of scoring for your locker room and for your team, and you need that. And he didn't have a bad year last year, but it wasn't Braden Shen-esque. And I'd like to see him get back to that as well. Jordan Kyrou, I think the next steps are inevitable for him. I think it's going to happen. And Anthony, everybody talks about this 200-foot game. I've said this before. I don't care about the 200-foot game. Let him play a 150-foot game. I don't care. Because Brett Hull and guys like that, Alex Ovechkin, and these pure goal scorers, none of them play a true 200-foot game. So just be smart with the puck. All I'm asking for from Jordan Kyrou is smart plays with the puck. When you don't have a play, don't try to make something out of nothing and have it blow up. Just put it off the wall or advance the puck and go chase it. Like, put it to a non-dangerous area so that the team doesn't get affected by it.
Yeah.
That's all we need from Jordan Kyrou. When it comes to your guy, who did you pick again?
Jake Neighbors.
Jake Neighbors, yeah. I think he's going to take the next steps. What it looks like, I don't know. Is it scoring more goals? I don't know. I don't think it needs to be. I think the way he plays is exactly what you want out of that guy on the second line on the left wing, playing with Booch for now. So I like him as well. I give Marshy a B+ for his, and I'll give you an A-, Anthony.
What the hell is this grading system? What's going on
You
here?
asked for the grade.
He's tough but fair.
He is.
He just called me an
Grade on the
overachiever
curve.
and then gave me a B.
Sit down. Marshy, it took you 2 guys to get your 1 grade. So these guys only needed 1.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I throw another name out there? And the text line brings
Your
this
grade's
up.
gonna go down.
Go yet. I like this.
Your grade's going to go down if you add one more, Marshy.
This is the text line. So
Hang
we're
on,
in the
can I
text.
say- can
No,
I
you
say-
go first.
Let me say mine first. I'm going to go with what you said, okay? Not Jake Neighbors. Philip Broberg for me. He's got to be the guy. Philip Broberg, because last year you really didn't have a true top 4 defenseman. Like, you didn't have 4 guys. Falk was playing hurt. Kessel was in there a little bit. Krug was obviously still dealing with an injury and stuff too. I think if Philip Broberg takes the next steps, following what he did in the Stanley Cup playoffs and following what he did during the season, that could be a huge difference for the Blues. If you could put out 2 pairings back-to-back that are basically shutdown pairs, that's going to limit the offensive abilities for the other team. It's going to lessen the time in your own zone, take the workload off your goalies, make it easier for the forwards as they're getting clean passes up the ice. So for me, my guy in all of this, and I know most Blues fans haven't really dove into watching Philip Broberg yet, if he takes the next steps and becomes a true top 4 defenseman, that will be a big difference.
I like that one.
All right, it looks like the 314 is getting an A+ because they also said Philip Broberg.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. Now, a name that we did not mention that we talked about before, and the 913 brings this up, Scott Perunovich. Where does he factor into this? If he takes the next step and is a part of that D-man, that D-core, does that make the Blues like a better team? Is it because like he's manning the power play and he's taking the next step? Like, what does that look like?
Yeah, so I would love to see him do it. I'd love to see Scott Perunovich enter the chat to where he's making it really difficult for anybody to not play him. The problem for me with that is I don't think Scott Perunovich profiles to be a top 4 defenseman. Certainly not yet in his career, and I don't know if ever, maybe. And if that's the case, then he's going to have a hard time staying in the lineup on a consistent basis, which means that you're really not going to use him on the power play that much because you want your power play to have continuity with it. So as much as I'd like to see him take the next steps, I don't think his next steps are that much of a difference maker as opposed to even the 4 guys that we said.
Good call. All right. We have a returning Gauntlet contestant in Andrew. We love Andrew, but I should have taken care of business yesterday. I did not. Will Jamie, Carey, or Marshy do that today? The Gauntlet is next on 101 ESPN. I always enjoy going to the MAC and making it a part of my daily routine. It's more than just a gym. It's more than just a workout facility. 2 separate clubs. I use them for different reasons, but really the theme is always the same. I enjoy going to the various events that the Missouri Athletic Club has, whether it's the speaker series that they have, hosting big-time events for the Blues, the Cardinals, or our College Basketball Writers Association awards that they have the banquet at night, and we broadcast there every year. The Missouri Athletic Club, perfect spot for the family, perfect spot for me. 2 great clubs, 1 tremendous club. 2 great clubhouses, I should say, 1 tremendous club. That's my MAC, Missouri Athletic Club.
categories, one challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Call 314-920-5713 now for a free inspection.
It's Fast Line on 101 ESPN with Carey Davis and Jamie Rivers and Andrew Marsh. I'm Anthony Stalter. We welcome in Andrew again for the second round of the Gauntlet. He beat me yesterday, so I'll have an opportunity to take on Marsh, Carey, or Jamie today. What's up, Andrew?
What's going on, Stalter? Hey, did I hear you earlier that you didn't take care of business yesterday?
I did not. Well, you took care of business. I did not.
I sure did. You were up, and then you lost in overtime, kind of like the Falcons in Super Bowl 51.
Whoa! Wow.
Whoa.
Well, Andrew has gotten to the point where he's feeling pretty good about himself. So, Andrew, I like you. I hope you go down in an absolute blaze of glory today.
You know what? It just depends, I guess. But we'll see.
Who you taking on?
I think I'm going to do Carey Davis.
All right.
There you go. Carey Davis is going to make his way into the cone of silence.
Get your game face on, Carey.
Real quick before we get started, can I shout out to my buddy Dan, who's a retired Navy, and my buddy Tony?
Absolutely.
They're listening today. I just wanted to say what's up to those guys.
Thank you for your service. We love all members of the service. Just did our military appreciation day last week, and we always love that. All right, Andrew, without further ado, man, go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marshy.
All right, I didn't hear if you were asked this yesterday. Is there a category that you're hoping for?
Oh, I don't really care. I'm just glad to be here.
All right, fair enough.
As long as it's not
hockey.
Specific category.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, but you got the hockey guy, Carey Davis.
That's true. All right. We've got hockey for you. 4 questions, all hockey related. Every question is worth 2 points unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions become worth 1 point. Andrew, are you ready? Thank you, Marsh.
Yes, let's do this.
Question number 1. In the 2013 Stanley Cup Final, the Chicago Blackhawks scored the Stanley Cup winning goal with 59 seconds left in Game 6. Who scored that goal?
Ooh, that the clinching game? Was that against the Flyers? I think that was 2013. I think that was against the Flyers. Was it Patrick Kane and nobody knew it went in? Except him? Patrick Kane, final answer.
Okay.
All right, Andrew, question number 2. In the 2014 Stanley Cup Final, Alec Martinez scored the Stanley Cup winning goal in overtime of Game 5 against the Rangers. Who had the primary assist on that goal? If you remember, it was a rebound shot by a certain player, and then Martinez put the rebound in.
That was the game winner. That was LA Kings.
Mm-hmm.
Option.
Was it Justin Williams, Tyler Toffoli, or Marian Gaborik?
Toffoli, final answer. That sounds right.
Question number 3. In that 2014 Stanley Cup Final, who was the New York Rangers head coach?
Rangers. Oh, boy. I'm going to take the options again.
Your options are David Quinn, John Tortorella, or Alain Vigneault.
John Tortorella, final answer.
Final question for you, Andrew. How many times has Alex Ovechkin won the Hart Trophy, which, of course, is the NHL's MVP award?
Well, if I take the options, it's going to be like 2, 3, or 4. What the hell? I'll take the options.
3, 4, or 5?
I'll go 3. Final answer.
All right, let's bring back our guy, Carey Davis. Andrew, how you feeling?
I don't know. I might pack my own lunch and walk away. Jesus.
All right. We'll see here. Carey Davis making his way back in from the cone of silence right now.
How's it going?
How's our guy Mike Ryder doing in there?
Yeah, we just sitting there talking music and talking life and trying to figure
And
out
everything in between.
Cardinals.
When I first got here today, I didn't know it was Mike Ryder because Mike usually wears a hat
on.
Oh, yeah, he's not wearing a hat.
Threw you off a little bit.
I saw the behind look. And
You saw the behind?
yeah, I did.
Okay.
He had his back turned to me. It was pretty rude, actually. But
Did you think it was Tommy with the shirt that he was wearing today?
they do have matching wardrobe a little bit.
They dressed alike?
They did.
Tommy does wear he does rock a lot of the patterns. Yeah. Yeah. All right, hey, Lake, let's go. It's round 2 here, the Gauntlet.
Yeah, log in.
Your category, Carey Davis, is hockey.
I'm appropriate for you, Carey.
Yeah,
The hockey guy. Here we go.
You're going to be great.
Carey, question 1. In the 2013 Stanley Cup Final, the Chicago Blackhawks scored the Stanley Cup winning goal with 59 seconds left in Game 6. Who scored that goal?
What year did you say?
2013.
Give me Kane. Final answer.
All right, Carey, question 2. In the 2014 Stanley Cup Final, Alec Martinez scored the Stanley Cup winning goal in overtime of Game 5 against the Rangers. Who had the primary assist on that goal? Now, I did give this information to Andrew.
Okay.
I said, if we can remember correctly, Alec Martinez, it was a rebound goal. One of his teammates shot the puck. Lundqvist made a save. It went to Martinez, who put it in the net.
Give me the options, please.
Was it Justin Williams, Tyler Toffoli, or Marian Gaborik?
Give me Tyler Toffoli. Final answer.
Question number 3. In that 2014 Stanley Cup Final, who was the New York Rangers head coach?
Options.
Options are David Quinn, John Tortorella, or Alain Vigneault.
John Tortorella. Final answer.
Final question, Carey Davis. How many times has Alex Ovechkin won the Hart Trophy, which is the NHL's MVP award?
That's a very good question. You got some good questions here, guys.
I sure would have liked them.
I'm going to say... I bet. I'm going to say... I don't need the options because it's going to be like 3, 4, 5, or 2, 3, 4, or... Give me 3. Final answer.
Spicy.
Heard somebody else today on the radio use spicy.
Did they?
I thought of you.
It's catching on.
It's catching on is right.
It's our mission.
Andrew versus Carey in hockey. Round 2 for Andrew. And here we go. Question number 1. In the 2013 Stanley Cup Final, the Chicago Blackhawks scored the Stanley Cup winning goal with 59 seconds left in Game 6. Who scored that goal? Carey, you went with Patrick Kane. The options were Jonathan Taves, Brian Bickle, and Dave Boland.
Damn it.
Andrew, you said Patrick Kane.
Yes.
Correct answer is...
Well, Patrick Kane did score an overtime winning goal against the Flyers, but this Stanley Cup was against the Bruins, and it was Dave Boland who famously scored, threw his gloves down, and celebrated like he scored the overtime winner, but there were still 55 seconds left on the clock.
Dave Boland is the correct answer.
Yeah.
0-0 tie between Andrew and CD. In the 2014 Stanley Cup Final, Alec Martinez scored the Stanley Cup winning goal in overtime of Game 5 against the Rangers. Who had the primary assist on that goal? Andrew, you said Tyler Toffoli. Carey, you said Tyler Toffoli. Correct answer is...
It is Tyler Toffoli.
Both of you needed the option, so we have a 1-1 tie. In the 2014 Stanley Cup Final, who was the Rangers' coach? Andrew, you went with John Tortorella. CD, you also went with Torts. Correct answer is...
Former St. Louis Blue, Alain Vigneault.
We still have a 1-1 tie.
Well, okay.
Comes down to this. How many times has Alex Ovechkin won the Hart Trophy, the NHL's MVP award? Andrew, you said 3. Carey, you said 3. But Carey did not use the options. Carey did not use the options on this one. So, the options being 3, 4, and 5. Andrew, you did use the options. So this is how it's going to work. If it's 4 or 5, we've got a walk-off. If it's 3, Carey wins because he did not take the options.
Timeout. If it is 4 or 5, Andrew wins.
No, sir.
No. 1-1.
No.
1-1.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Yeah,
You're
1-1.
right.
Yeah.
Math is off.
It's okay.
Your timeout has been
You're
burned.
still-
Your
you're still feeling
challenge
the effects of being
has
shot.
been used.
Oh, I did. Yeah, I got.
Yeah, your challenge has been used.
Well, if you get hit in the backside, it goes right to the brain.
It certainly does, yeah.
Or just right in the back.
Yeah.
I do apologize. It was an accident.
Andrew.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. It is 3. It is 3. Carey Davis wins today, 3-2.
The hockey guy.
Over Andrew. The hockey guy prevails. Nice job. Andrew, sorry, buddy. We do appreciate the Raising Canes every year, though, my man. Thanks for playing. Thanks for listening, as always.
How embarrassing. I lost to Carey in hockey.
I'm the hockey guy. I'm the hockey guy.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Hey, but you know what? You know what? That's all right. That's karma for taking a shot at Stalter as soon as I got on.
Thank you. Yes, absolutely.
Can't be reckless out there,
That's
Andrew.
right. All right, Andrew. We'll see you, buddy.
All right, take care. Keep up the good work, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate you. All right. Carey, nice job, man.
My hockey.
The hockey guy.
Carey.
Way to go,
Good
kid.
job, buddy.
Carey Davis.
Wins again in hockey. Unbeaten record in hockey.
Nah, I don't think so.
Unbeaten today.
Yeah, today. 1-0.
But not.
Not
today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. It's the Fastline on 101 at ESPN.
Do we have a lineup yet?
Nah, they don't care about us.
Well, clearly.
Let's do a Stalter Stackup, which is now the Fast Lane Stackup.
Yeah. No, we keep the Stalter stack.
It's called the Stalter Stackup. It's a power ranking, and now we all do the power ranking. And Carey, he was disgusted by some of my picks last week, so we'll find out where he is today. Stalter Stackup next on 101 ESPN.
Oh, Sean McVay has the best playbook. Oh.
Stalter on the fumble.
Oh, my God. Anthony.
You like that? You like that?
You're wrong on this one, Anthony.
Anthony, who cares what you think?
On stacks, on stacks, on stacks.
It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Just looked up in the snake pits. Snake pits in full form today. Anthony Kaiser Sose says this is by far the worst show the shows on 101. Fastlane used to be the best one.
Wow.
Junked now.
Wow.
Thanks.
Thank you for listening,
I
Anthony.
appreciate it.
Anthony,
Kaiser,
we're sorry. Don't you feel that way? All right, Stalter Stackup. Here we go.
Okay. Number 1.
Kansas City Chiefs, all say aye.
Aye.
No. No. Not up in here.
Who you got?
No. I've got the Bills.
Wow.
And the reason I did that is because the Chiefs have been less impressive than the Bills. Are they both teams undefeated? Yes. But the Bills have looked more impressive. So I've got the Bills at number 1.
More impressive than the 2-time Super Bowl winning champions.
Yep.
Clearly.
Right now, the power rankings like this are in the moment, Anthony. I can't look at last year. I can't even look at them with a picture of the trophy because it doesn't matter anymore. All that matters is the 3 weeks that I've seen this year, and the Bills have been more impressive.
Wow.
Move on. Next.
Okay, well, the rest of us have Kansas City.
Yeah.
Number 2.
This is where I have the Buffalo Bills.
I agree.
Still going to pay respect
This
to
is where I have the Chiefs.
the Chiefs for winning the Super Bowls. You know what? I don't knock your thought process here, Jamie. Not at all. Buffalo has looked very good. And we talked about it at the start of the show. Them trading Stephon Diggs wasn't the bury the bodies moment that a lot of people thought it was going to be. In fact, the offense now looks more complete. He's got Josh Allen's got plenty of weapons. He's not trying to feed Stephon Diggs. Everybody's getting fed in this offense. Coleman only had, the rookie only had 1 target last night, but went for a touchdown. So guys are making impacts. Jacksonville looks terrible. So, maybe not the best competition last night, but I'm not going to knock the Bills for that. It didn't really matter who the opponent was last night. They were a hot knife through butter. So I got the Bills as well.
Number 3.
I got Marsh's Minnesota Vikings.
Yes!
I think the top team right now in the NFC. Similar thought process with Jamie in that, okay, what you got the Vikings too?
I got the Vikings.
3 weeks. Who's been better in the NFC?
Nobody.
Who's got it better than us?
Nobody.
Who's got it better than me? Except for Carey. His team's also 3-0.
Yeah, fair enough.
Thank you.
Yep. He's only been shot once, too. So, Yep.
Don't remind him.
Yeah, okay. Minnesota Vikings. I think they got the best head coach / OC and the best defensive coordinator in all of the NFC. They still got the Chiefs with with Andy Reid and Steve Spagnuolo in the NFL, but in the NFC, that's the best combination, play caller and defensive coordinator. So I got the Vikings there.
We all have Vikings at 3.
Yes.
Number 4.
All right, number 4, I have I looked down, I'm like, why did I put Denver? I didn't. Detroit. I thought that was a nice bounce back performance last night. I'm willing to overlook that second game against Tampa. They got away from who they were. Jared Goff put the ball in the air way too much in that Tampa game. They got back to who they were last week, running the football, setting everything up for Goff. Do they have some warts? Yeah, all teams do, though, including the Chiefs. I think that this is the second best team right now in the NFC behind Marsh's Minnesota Vikings. I got the Lions 4.
Yeah, I got Lions at 4.
I got the Eagles at 4. Still put them ahead.
Eagles fly.
Still put them ahead of the Lions.
Okay.
I think they had a lot of injuries over the weekend going into the game and during the game. You probably didn't see, their full complement of pieces that they have to be the best that they can be offensively. I think Darius Slay went down as well. So still got the Eagles there. I think they'll be hopefully healthy, ready to roll next game.
All right.
I also have Detroit at number 4.
Attaboy, Marshy.
Motown.
Detroit basketball. Oh, that's a different sport, sorry.
That team was terrible last year.
That team was.
They were horrible.
Not the ones in the 2000s.
No.
Ben
That team
Wallace
was
and
fun, man.
Rasheed Wallace.
It's one of my favorite basketball teams of all time.
They were good.
And Anthony was a part of the
Palace of the Malice of the Palace. I didn't start it.
He threw his beer.
I was there. Yeah.
Really?
I was the on-site producer for the Pistons.
Really?
Yeah. We were the home of the Pistons, WDFN.
So the media, it's media row, and then they had this little section real close to the Pistons bench. So I was on the other side.
Yeah, but you tried to get over there.
I did. Because I tried to get out. I'm like, nah.
Nah, I'm good.
I know what these fans are all about. I'm out of here. Go ahead.
5.
I got Carey's Pittsburgh Steelers. I got to give them some respect.
You and I are in lockstep, except for his first pick. Yeah.
All right.
I have Pittsburgh as well.
There you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
I got the Lions here.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
he doesn't believe in his own team.
He doesn't believe in his own team.
Listen, slow
He's being
and steady
cautious.
wins the race.
I don't hate it. He's
Slow
being
and
cautious about it. So, but yeah, look, when you look at what Pittsburgh has done, unbeaten thus far through the first 3 games, are they overly, talented offensively? No, but Justin Fields has played well. He's played well within that system. I hate the passing game. I really do. I hate Arthur Smith's passing game. I think it's way too complicated. I don't think it frees up any good looks, but Fields has played well in it, and that defense is nasty.
Is he the FedEx guy?
His dad is.
His dad is the owner and founder of FedEx.
Well, they're really good on the ground, though.
Oh, wow.
They are.
Wow.
Yeah, they're very
Isn't that
good.
on their
Yeah.
trucks? Trucks good on the ground?
Well, the last time I think, they were in the air, I think a guy ended up on an island by himself.
By himself.
He had a ball.
Talking
He
about
wasn't
volleyball.
really
Did have a
by
ball.
himself. He had a ball.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
That he talked to.
Yep.
And then
What
he
happened
lost
to that
his
ball?
It went on to sea. Mm-hmm. And he was sad.
I don't know.
He had to get out of there.
Well
It's a
said.
great documentary.
It certainly is.
Yeah.
Number 6.
I don't even know if I believe in this team, but they are quietly flying under the radar.
I like the way you said that.
Yeah.
I think we're in the same
I
category.
got the same team.
I gotta go with the Seahawks. You got two? I gotta go with like nobody's talking about the Seahawks.
I don't know how.
I watched them against Denver in week 1. I'm like, I watched them in week 2, whatever, pus bucket they beat that day. I'm like, But then there's you got to give them some credit.
I'm still, but I got him at 6.
Miami with the backup quarterback there, but I really believe in Mike McDonald's defense. I think they look really good. They've been doing this without Kenneth Walker the last 2 weeks too. I think they're like a sound football team overall.
I agree.
That's funny.
So quiet.
Yeah,
Very quiet.
very quiet.
I think the rest of this.
They're all tucked up there in the northwest. There.
Paying attention.
This is where I think the rest of this list is going to get
Sloppy.
From here on out,
Yeah.
I think we're going to have a lot of mismatched.
I think you're right.
Number 7. Thank you.
Didn't look impressive at all, but I had them 2 here last week. I got the Houston Texans, so it dropped them about as far as they could. I know they look bad. I don't even think they look great against the Bears, but man, they're chock full of talent. They've got the coordinators. They've got, defensively, I still think they're sound. I think they're on the field too damn much last week, but I still like the Texans as a top 2 team.
I do not have the Texans here. I have the Saints. I know they hit a
The
massive
Aints.
speed bump, but that offense was legit for their first 2 wins. So I've got the Saints.
Hey, they didn't show up last week.
No.
I have the Pittsburgh Steelers here, cracking the top 10 in my list for the first time.
All right.
Yeah, Anthony, we were in lockstep
Until
I had the Green Bay Packers at number 7.
Wow.
Without Jordan Love, I think they've done a great job without him as their starting QB.
You also had the Texans 2 last week, so you really punked those guys this
Anthony,
week.
they looked horrible this past
I
week.
know.
They did look horrible.
Listen,
They threw an interception in the first 30 seconds of the game.
I'm not going to fight you on it.
Second play of the game.
I just
wasn't it?
won't.
Or first play.
Well,
I
First
can't
or second
remember.
play.
Yeah, either way.
Terrible.
Number 8.
Eagles. Fly, Eagles, fly.
I've got them here too, Anthony. I thought for sure this was going to be an ish show, but it isn't. All right.
Yeah. I think they got real issues, but they're so talented. And Saquon Barkley has been the best free agent signing through the 3 weeks in ever, Bob.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think this team would be much better if they just kicked damn field goals. I really do. I wish Nick Sirianni, instead of attempting a 75-yard or whatever it was the one time, why don't you take the points? They could have beat the Saints by double digits last week had they just merely kicked field goals. Instead, they're going for it on like every 4th down because the analytics say. Has anybody seen the analytics little box there on ESPN say what the analytics? Did they ever say punt? Ever?
Not
or field
really.
goal? They always say go, right?
Yeah.
Do they just run that graphic every single time on 4th down? Just go. Anyways, but I do have the Eagles 8. and they beat my number 9 team, so I wasn't going to put that number 9 team ahead of them.
Yeah, I got the Eagles at 8.
For me, I got the Packers. Go, Pack, go. Again, what Marshy said for 7, they have looked really good with their backup quarterback. Maybe Jordan Love is back healthy. I thought he was going to miss way more time than he did. Malik Willis has done a really good job filling in in Jordan Love's absence. I think if Jordan Love comes back healthy, this could be a team that is something to reckon with in that NFC North.
This is where I have the Houston Texans. So not too far off your list, Anthony. I got Houston at number 8.
You guys got Houston on your list after how they looked last week.
We're not done with the list.
Hold.
Still holding.
Number 9.
This is where I got the Packers. The Eagles beat the Packers in week 1, so that's really the only reason why I didn't have them a little higher. I could have dropped Houston further, but again, last week I had them at number 2, so I couldn't justify dropping them too far down. What a job by Matt LaFleur. Holy smokes. As a head coaching job thus far, I don't think anybody's done a better job through 3 weeks. Losing his starting quarterback, tough game in week 1, on the road in, where were they? Brazil. They played in Brazil, all that mess, nearly won, lost your quarterback. Malik Willis is starting, and you're 2-1. You've looked very good doing so. So I got the Packers now.
I do not have the Packers here. I have the New York Football Jets. I have the New York Jets.
No, don't like that.
I was not a fan for the first couple of games, but watching that game, Aaron Rodgers looked more like himself. That defense is legit. They've got a lot of weapons out there. I've got the Jets at 9.
For me, I have the Jets, Jets. It doesn't matter that Robert Saleh and Aaron Rodgers don't want to hug it out on the sideline. They got bigger fish to fry, which is scoring more touchdowns and winning more games. They are my number 9 team.
You guys might not believe this, but at number 9, I have the New York Football Jets.
Yes.
How could you go? How?
You watched it.
I thought we were a close-knit group here.
You came in
Aaron
here
Rodgers.
the next day drooling all over Aaron Rodgers' performance.
It was the Patriots. I was trying to be nice.
Good performance. Did well.
Yeah. Gets a bunch of guys to be bagging groceries in a week.
Oh.
You guys disgust me.
Yeah. You'll be all right.
Number 10.
Saints. I'm going to keep them there at 10.
Okay.
Just because I think they play the Falcons
You
next.
don't even like Derek Carr.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't like him at all.
Okay.
At all.
Intriguing.
I think he is Kirk Cousins light. That's what I think of Derek Carr. Both overpaid. Everybody all hot and bothered because you do sideways a couple of times and 2 deep shots to Shaheed. Shaheed was a ghost on Sunday. Derek Carr turned into Derek Carr. All you need is a field goal, huh? All right, I'll throw it into triple coverage. Picked off. Hey, there's Derek Carr again. There he is.
That's your number 10 team.
Yeah.
All right, at 10, they had a really bad week, but I still believe in them. Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh, man.
I couldn't leave them off the list. Shut your face.
So my number 10 team is going to surprise some people because I didn't expect to have them on this list at all. But it is the Washington Commanders.
Give me some. Yeah. That defense.
Yes. It's the Washington Commanders. I'm buying into Jaden Daniels. I am. I like what he did. Who else in the NFC is worthy of even being on that list? Who you got?
Saints, Bucks.
Saints, you watched the Saints and you watched the Bucks.
They're frauds.
They both lost. The Saints didn't even, I don't know what they were doing offensively. I have no idea if the Bucks knew that the game was at home or who they were playing.
I know.
They didn't show up.
They didn't.
The Commanders at least got a young guy that can, figure some things out.
They haven't punted in 2 games.
Love it.
Want some more of it?
Want more of it.
Yep.
Hop on that Commanders bandwagon now because I do think it's something.
They won't be on the list next week.
No.
It's going to come down to the Commanders and the Giants at the end of the season.
Defense is terrible.
By the way, guys, I know we're up against the clock here, but isn't it wild that not one of us, justifiably so, not one of us had the Ravens? It's pretty telling as to what we're thinking about them.
Yeah.
I thought about having them on there.
I feel like they're kind of in prove it mode.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
And if it's power rankings, you can't no, they're not there.
They almost choked again.
They did.
They tried.
They really tried. All right, it's Fast Line on 101 at ESPN. We got our Sports Six-Pack next, so if you have a question for us, 314-399-9646, send it into the Air Comfort Service text line. Again, Sports Six-Pack next.
If you're looking to remodel your kitchen, maybe your bathroom, or how about that outdoor living space, let me tell you about my friends over at E&B Granite. They have been in the business here for over 2 decades with family ownership and operation. They offer a tremendous amount of options when it comes to custom countertops, cabinets, your flooring. They've got all sorts of colors, all sorts of different looks. The fabricators are fantastic. The installers do a magnificent job. But for me, the big thing was the in-house design staff. They did a great job of walking me through what the remodeling of my kitchen would look like, and I had to trust them because I didn't know what to look for, but they did, and it turned out absolutely fantastic, and that's thanks to my great friends over at E&B Granite. It's pretty easy, too. You walk in, see all their products sitting there in the showroom right there at 6135 Manchester Avenue. So many great displays and so many options for you. Again, that's for your kitchen, your bathroom, or your outdoor spaces. Visit my friends at E&B Granite or give them a call and set up an appointment. That number's 314-645-9300. Again, that's 314-645-9300, or visit them at enbgranite.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a SportsCenter update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals take on the Colorado Rockies tonight. It'll be Michael McGreevy making his second start for the Cards, going up against Ryan Feltner. First pitch is at 7:40. Last night on Monday Night Football, we had two games. The Bills defeated the Jags 47-10, and the Commanders beat down, not really, but 38-33 against the Cincinnati Bengals, who are now 0-3. We talked a lot about Monday Night Football. If you missed that conversation or anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our full shows there. And it's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Tonight, we'll have Braves and Mets for you right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 5:30. Coming up next, we have our Sports Six-Pack. So get your questions in to the Air Comfort Service text line, 314-399-9646. Sports Six-Pack coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the SportsCenter update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
All right, time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 at ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. Marsh, what do you got for question one, please?
Question number one.
Let's go to the 314. Is it safe to say the Bears picked the worst quarterback that was in the first round of the draft?
Carey Davis.
We did this with Justin Fields, too. Like, we can't evaluate Caleb Williams yet. First of all, did anybody see the meme or the video or the GIF of the entire line for the Bears falling down?
Yes.
On the goal line?
At the goal line?
Yeah. That's not great.
It's slippery out there sometimes.
All five of them.
I saw that. Yeah.
Were on the ground at some point. I blame the Bears, not Caleb Williams. I don't think Caleb Williams has a shot right now. So it's very difficult to evaluate him.
I was watching, they played the Texans, was it last week?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And there was a play where DJ Moore was pretty much wide open on the sideline, and Caleb Williams threw it to the sideline, but he threw it to somebody on the bench on the sideline.
And Moore got frustrated.
And Moore was, in fairness, Marsha, he was wide open, and DJ Moore was like, what the hell am I going to do? There are some things that are in your control as a quarterback. There are some things that are not. You control what you can control. You can't control the 4 or 5 offensive linemen falling down as you're handing the ball off. But when you get an opportunity to make a play, you got to make a play. And right now, there are more than enough, in my opinion, opportunities for Caleb Williams to make a play. He's not making it. Yeah. And it might just be the Bears franchise is maybe they're cursed when it comes to quarterbacks.
You don't say.
They just can't figure it out. Aaron Rodgers owns them. That's what he said. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Yeah. I think we need to pump the brakes here on saying anything definitive about Caleb Williams.
Yeah, but if it keeps up like this, Anthony, even though the young man's super talented,
fire Eberflus.
It goes back to what I've been saying for, 3 weeks, a month now.
Put somebody in front of him.
Whatever, but these teams ruin good young quarterbacks.
Agreed.
So
you're right. You're right. Fire Eberflus. Get somebody in there that's going to actually run a successful offense. Mm-hmm. Build a damn offensive line. Stop adding receivers. You fools. I know Rome Odunze just had a big game. I get it. He had a big game and a loss. Get a defense and an O-line. Actually, the defense has got some kind of good sporadic talent. The O-line's a joke. Mm-hmm. We need another receiver. What? Why? Caleb Williams is looking out of his ear hole.
He is getting punished. I watched the game, and every single friggin' snap, he's running for his life.
It's bad. But this is the same. This is why I didn't think they needed to draft.
a quarterback. I felt like they should have kept Justin Fields. Because if you're swapping one guy out for the same issues that you have.
Do you think Caleb Williams, though? I think Caleb Williams is a better prospect.
How do you know?
I think he spins a better ball. I think he's got more arm talent. I don't think he's the same runner that Justin Fields is, but I do think he's got. I think there's more to work with from a passing standpoint.
I still have to see what Justin Fields can do in an offense that has receivers that can make plays.
You got George Pickens. How many do you want?
One guy.
What
Calvin
24?
I would like at least 2. Be nice. That way, because, when you got one guy.
You should be running the Bears right now with that wide receiver take.
Well, you can call me. I'm available.
Carey's like, I'll be up there soon.
I'm not going to lie. I really like what the Bears are doing. I think they should change nothing.
Marshy, stop it. You got issues to worry about. You got those Packers.
They're a formidable foe. In fact, I'll pick them next week to defeat my Vikings.
I see what you're doing.
What am I doing?
You know what you're doing.
Question number 2.
Trying to put the bad stuff into the atmosphere for the Packers.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do.
From the 3-1.
Straight out of my playbook.
With the regular season right around the corner for the Blues, what are your expectations for this year? Are they still in rebuild mode, or are they making the playoffs? Thanks for all that you guys do daily. Love listening to you guys and Jamie, too. Sincerely, your neighborhood-friendly car guy, Armin.
Thanks, Armin. I appreciate you. Yeah.
Expectations for the Blues is that they're competing for a playoff spot. I'm not going to sit here today and say, they're an automatic playoff team, because the Western Conference is going to be very difficult. The Central Division is a gauntlet. It's going to be a tough go, but I do expect them to be right there. Either a point or 2 in the playoffs or a point or 2 out of the playoffs, somewhere in that mix, which is something that Blues fans should be looking forward to, because you want this team to keep trending in the right direction and steps forward like that. Maybe, getting into the playoffs, obviously that's a huge step, but even if you get close and you're battling right to the very end, I want game 82 to matter for the Blues. And if game 82 for the Blues matters, I think that this year was a success.
I agree. Well said.
Question number 3.
From the 3-1-2, this is from Warren in Chicago. If the Cardinals came out and said 2025 is not going to be our year, but here's our plan for 2026, do you think fans would be fine with it?
Yeah, sold. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Yep, that was good.
That was simple.
That was. Why don't we get to the final 3 questions of the 6-pack next on 101 ESPN.
Gentlemen, listen up. If you are currently using ED meds, please, I hope you're not paying too much for them, but you probably are. I understand. I get it. The little blue pill, the gummy. I mean, you got to show up for game time, but you don't need to spend too much money on it. That's where the medicine shop in St. Charles, they become your destination for cheap ED meds. They've got a generic called sildenafil. They sell that for less than $2 a pill. Of course, prescription is required. They also bring the pharmacy to your home. What does that mean? It means you don't have to go in there all the time to refill some of your medications, or if you have medical supplies that you need. No, the medicine shop, they offer free, discreet shipping and delivery to your home or your workplace. It's an unbelievable program. I take full advantage of this, especially during hockey season. Things are crazy. I'm all over the country. I don't have to worry about it. The medicine shop in St. Charles gets everything to me as far as medication and all of my daughter's diabetic supplies as well. They also have a great staff over there at the pharmacy. Walk in, ask them any questions. They're going to point you in the right direction. They truly care about all of their customers. So again, go by, visit them, tell them Jamie Rivers sent you in. But if not, at least check out the website, please. That's stcharles.medicineshop.com. That's stcharles.medicineshop.com.
It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six Pack is brought to you by Paramount Men's Medical Center. Suffering from ED or PE? Your first treatment is free at ParamountMen'sMedical.com.
Continue our Sports Six-Pack here on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Carey Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh. And speaking of Marshy, he's got question 4.
Question number 4.
All right, the Water Boy wants to know, what NHL teams are in win-now mode this season? Oilers, Maple Leafs. Is there another team that comes to mind?
Win-now mode. I think the Pittsburgh Penguins have to be up there because that team just keeps getting older, obviously, every year, and they've got a lot of money wrapped up into their top players. Can't imagine Crosby, Malkin, Letang, that group of players is going to have that much longer where the window's open for them. I think the Rangers are in win-now mode. I think that they've put a lot of money and effort into putting a good roster together. Not able to get over that hump last year. Of course, Florida Panthers beat them in the playoffs. So I think the Rangers are in win-now mode. I think the Carolina Hurricanes are in win-now mode. Let's see here. We talked about the Maple Leafs. I think the Ottawa Senators are in win-now mode, and I don't mean like win the cup. Like, they've got to get into the playoffs. That's a great young team. Brady Tkachuk's a fantastic player. I want to see that guy in the playoffs.
It'd be nice.
It'd be awesome. So I think Ottawa's in a more of like make the playoffs now mode. And in the Western Conference, I think you got the Dallas Stars in win-now mode. That's an aging team as well with some older players that I think that their time to strike is right now. I'd also put that the Nashville Predators in that category. They signed Stamkos as an older player. O'Reilly's an older player. Like, Roman Yossi's not getting any younger. Like, that core group of players at Nashville, they've got to win in the next, year or two, or it's going to start coming down the backside of the mountain, and then they're going to have to liquidate all that stuff. So I think those are the teams primarily. I think the Canucks are a great team. I don't think they're in win-now mode. And, Marsh, you mentioned the Oilers earlier, so we'll leave it at that.
Be a damn shame if Ottawa missed the playoffs and had to trade Brady Tkachuk to the St. Louis Blues.
It would be nice.
Be a damn shame, wouldn't it?
Terrible.
Just a shame.
Question number 5.
From the 636, do you guys think Rashee Rice is a top receiver in the league or just Patrick Mahomes' favorite target with hardly no one else to throw to?
He's been looking really good. I think he has taken a step forward. He had a really good rookie season. I thought with all of the things that took place in the offseason for him, I thought maybe he would get off to a slow start. But he's actually looking really good. Patrick Mahomes is targeting him a lot. He seems to be the number 1 receiver instead of Travis Kelce at this point. That may change, in the weeks to come. But right now, I think Rashee Rice is definitely up there in terms of one of the better receivers because he's playing with he's playing with the best quarterback.
Yeah.
So if you got the best quarterback throwing you the football and throwing it to you often, you're going to be up there in terms of top receivers in the league.
Yeah, this one's tough. When you think of like prototypical number 1, you think of Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. I don't know if Rashee Rice is a prototypical number 1, but I think his comp is Chris Godwin, and Chris Godwin is
really,
yeah.
I think he's better than Chris Godwin.
I think
Chris Godwin is really good. I think Chris Godwin is really good, but I think Rashee Rice is better.
I think Chris Godwin is
Pump the brakes a little bit, buddy.
Reliable player. He's tough. He's competitive. Like all the things that Rashee Rice is. Not necessarily a vertical reliever, but also somebody that can win on the ground. I think Rashee Rice is a comp to Godwin.
Is he as competitive though as MVS? I know that's your
There's
guy.
only one guy that is more competitive than MVS.
Yeah.
It's Van Jefferson.
Okay.
When you talk about two guys, two receivers that want nothing to do with the football when it's in the air, those are the two guys I think of the most.
What about Kadarius Toney?
Well, I think he wants it. He just can't catch it.
Oh,
yeah.
He tries to catch with his hands closed.
He's actually so excited to get the football that he will actually line up offside. Yeah.
Rashee Rice is leading the league right now in receptions. He's second in yards behind Nico Collins. he's a number one receiver. And again, when you're playing with the best quarterback in the National Football League, sign me up.
I almost feel like you think that Godwin is a knock.
Godwin is
an excellent receiver.
I said he's a very good receiver. He's not the number one receiver on his own team.
Well, when it's Mike Evans, it's a little tougher.
For me.
I want you to admit
he's not the best receiver.
Chris Godwin's a good receiver.
He's a very good receiver. He's not the best receiver on his own team. Because there's a better receiver on his own team.
If Chris Godwin replaced Rashee Rice,
Chris Godwin
would you be saying the same things that you are right now about Rashee Rice about Chris Godwin?
Probably.
Thank you.
But I think I do think Rashee Rice.
Judge,
I heard it.
I rest my case.
I think Rashee Rice is a little bit more explosive.
Okay.
A little bit shiftier than Chris Godwin. Straight line speed.
Chris Godwin's pretty shifty.
I don't think he's I think Rashee Rice is got
tough,
a little
reliable,
more
catches the ball.
Wiggle to him.
Yeah.
Rashee Rice too. He's a good receiver.
Question number 6.
Interesting question here from the 636. I heard that Reggie Bush is suing the NCAA, USC, and the Pac-12
Get him.
for lost NIL money. Do you think he'll win the case, or is this just a wild goose chase and nothing is going to come of it?
So, Carey, you'll have to walk me through this. I think it's asinine that he's trying to go back and sue for something that didn't exist back then. That's the hard part is it didn't exist. Now, if there was NIL money available back then and the team just refused to give him some or shorted him somehow, then, you've got a case. But to go back and do that, it'd be like me going back to another time and say, well, that one team got an extra $100,000 for winning a playoff series. I'm suing you for that money I lost out on.
That's a good point.
I think that, so there are a couple of Michigan players, I believe, that are doing the same thing. Braylon Edwards, I believe, is one of them. They're kind of filing a lawsuit against the NCAA for lost money that they didn't gain. Now, in Reggie Bush's case,
it wasn't available.
But here's the problem. I understand it. Like, we all were on video games. We all had our number and likeness on video games that were sold. We all had our jerseys sold in the stores. Like, D. Brown was the man at Illinois, and pretty much every person had a number one jersey on when he was in college, a basketball jersey. So there was a lot of money generated for these players. And in Reggie Bush's case, when he got his Heisman taken away from him, that also negated him from having money, which they gave the Heisman back. So why did you give that? Why did you take it away? Because you said he did something illegal. Now you give it back because you said, it really wasn't that illegal. Okay, well, if it wasn't illegal, then pay me my money from all of the money that was earned because of my likeness during my time in college. So for me, I think it's more that you took his Heisman away, you gave it back to him, and now you're saying, well, you know what, we made a mistake. All right, cool. Now, give me my money for what I missed out on for all this time that I couldn't call myself a Heisman Trophy winner.
Now, what the NCAA is going to say is that you were being given free schooling, that you were being paid for what you're doing. No, Carey, I'm just telling you, hear me out. And then the NCAA and I think the judicial let's try that again. Judicial system. This is Pandora's box here. Because if they're successful, then every single NCAA player and every single sport is going to go back looking for their pound of flesh.
Well, not every sport, because some of those sports weren't generating the amount of money.
Okay, let's just say every football player.
Basketball and football, for sure.
Okay, let's just say that 80% of the players that were
the NCAA made a lot of money. They made billions of dollars during that time, and trust me, I played the video game. I saw the jerseys in the stores on campus. Like, there was a lot of money being made. You make it to a bowl game, you make it to a BCS game at that time, there's a lot of money. You win a Big Ten championship, there was a lot of money being given out. And Reggie Bush and those guys at SC made a ton of money for that university, winning a national championship and being as highly, him and Matt Leinart, as highly touted as they were.
I'm not saying they don't deserve it. I'm just saying they won't get it.
Yeah. Well, he's been in a cryo chamber for all these years.
Or hang on, let me read reassesses. Or the NCAA throws them a couple of...
Now get out of here.
Couple of crumbs. Here you go.
This will do.
Yep, there you go. Now
Take
be
it.
quiet,
You'll
sign
like
this
it.
paper, and go away.
Yeah. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We finally have a lineup, which means we can finally play a lineup game next.
Window World. They are simply the best for less. They're also the preferred window of your St. Louis Blues. Window World windows are one of the 2 windows with the Good Housekeeping seal of approval. They're also ranked #1 in number of windows sold in the country by Qualified Remodeler magazine. Window World, they use a double-strength glass that gives it a strength not commonly used in replacement windows. Why does that matter? Less breakage, better efficiency, more money in your pocket rather than spending it on heating and air conditioning because you have bad windows. Window World also gives you a lifetime warranty that covers all the parts, glass breakage, and the labor. They're unbelievable with their customers. They make sure you're completely satisfied when the project is done. And they're just awesome people as well. And with that awesomeness comes the opportunity to finance up to 36 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. All you have to do is call them. Tell them Jamie Rivers from 101 sent you in. That qualifies you right away for 4 Blues tickets to an upcoming game. That number is 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800, or visit them at windowworldstlouis.com. Right now, because we got a lineup, boys. They're in the Fastlane on 101 ESPN. 505, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Don't forget, we're off a little early tonight. We got Braves and Mets pregame starting at 5:30. All right, boys. Ryan Feltner, right-hander, is on the mound for the Colorado Rockies tonight. Michael McGreevy making his second start for the Cardinals. Carey, would you like to start us?
Shows Mason win.
I'm watching the Futures game, and this thing's all over Instagram. It's like, this guy threw a ball 100 across the... That's awesome, but, like, how many throwing errors does he have?
Shut up!
All right.
I don't see much of a change going on here to the rest of the way for the Cardinals, so I'm going to say, show us Alec Burleson.
Kind of closed my eyes and swung at it and did what I wanted to do.
Bully to the rescue!
Would this be Paul Goldschmidt?
Sure.
Yes.
All right. Show us Paul Goldschmidt.
Gold! Rich with gold! Gold!
Yeah, go ahead, Anthony.
Show us Noah Arenado.
He's a Gold Glove winner and perennial All-Star.
Oh, listen to Mr. Gold Glove over here.
Come on.
I think this is Donnie Baseball.
I do too.
Show us Brendan Donovan.
Donnie.
Hey, this headband's pretty cool.
All right, so we've had 2 variations here.
Jordan Walker or Lars Nootbaar.
Lars Nootbaar, depending on how they align things here, and also who's catching. We've also had Herrera in this spot.
I would love to see Herrera.
Would you?
In the at least in the lineup.
Yeah.
Well, if he's playing, he's probably here.
I have a feeling it's Newt here.
I do too. Even though I want to see Herrera, I agree.
I think it's Pages tonight. I think you got Newt, Walker, and I think Victor Scott will be in center field.
Victor Scott now up.
Yes.
You do it.
Show us Lars, Taylor, Tatsui, Nootbaar.
Oh, wow.
That always hurts more when you do the whole Nootbaar thing.
You really put a lot of effort in.
I do.
All right, so is this Herrera?
Buzzed him while he was in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
But he put so much heart and soul into that.
Thanks, man.
This guy.
Nice guy.
I think that's mean. Carey shouldn't do that.
No.
He walks around town singing all the time.
Yeah.
He loves musicals.
He does.
I do not. We established that earlier.
I think it's Herrera. I think it's Herrera.
Or you have at it.
Show us Ivan Herrera.
I'm just going to say this right now. I think Ivan Herrera is going to hit a home run right here.
Nice job.
Marsh just literally called that at Ballpark Village.
Marsh had a vision. All right.
Sorry, boys. Went rogue.
No.
Good job.
Hey,
it worked.
don't apologize when it works.
Matters. If it didn't work,
then we might have issues. Yep. Okay, so is this Walker then?
I think this is Newt.
This is Newt.
Yeah, I think Walker's 8.
What if they do what you all suggested during the break? Not that thing, the other thing. Siani and Scott playing at the same time.
Yeah, I was the one that suggested that.
I forget what I was saying now. Oh well.
Coors Field is massive in the outfield. So having 2 center fielders in the outfield, I think would make sense. Now, is Ollie going to do it? Probably not.
I think this is Newt here.
All right, go for it, Jamie.
Show us Lars Nootbaar.
Jamie.
You didn't do it right.
I'm not.
You didn't do it right.
That's just terrible. No, let Carey do it. Carey's going to put some fielding into it.
I don't believe it's him.
Okay.
Show us Lars Nootbaar.
What makes you think she's a witch?
There you go.
Well, she turned me into a newt. A newt. Got better.
I thought for sure halfway through that I was getting
So is this Jordan Walker here?
I think it is.
Show us Jordan Walker.
Oh, wow.
What's his angle?
That's his guy, so he's going to say it.
He just doesn't care.
He's playing every day now, guys, you know? You got to know that.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow.
There's always tomorrow.
I think it's Victor Scott here.
I do too. Show us Victor Scott.
You are so wrong.
Show us Michael Superbad Siani.
Michael.
You're not Michael Phelps. You're Michael Cera.
Alrighty.
All right.
Marsh, why don't you ahead and run that thing?
All right, leading off the shortstop, Mason Wynn batting second. Your DH, Alec Burleson, batting third. First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt. Your cleanup hitter, third baseman, Arenado. Batting fifth, second baseman, Brendan Donovan. Catching is Ivan Herrera. He is batting sixth. Batting seventh in left field, Lars Taylor Tatsui. Nootbaar. Batting eighth in right field, Jordan Walker. And batting ninth in center field, Michael Siani.
Back. Stay fair!
Go fair!
I don't believe what I just saw.
Home run.
All right.
Marsh, you're still up.
You're still up, kid.
You know what? Give me Nootbaar tonight. Give me Lars.
Taylor Tetsui.
Give me Alec Burleson.
Is it on me? Give me Jordan Walker. Been hitting the ball really hard and far.
Gonna walk it like it's hot, huh? All right, give me somebody off the bench, please. Like
there's only one guy with pop now.
Luke Baker is not on the.
Yeah, he's having a baby.
I know what you're doing, Carey. I know exactly what you're doing. Give me Thomas DeJacy.
Okay.
I guess. All right. Hey, we need a new Beat the Streak contestant, so text in now, BTS, if you want to play Beat the Streak with us. So we've got Beat the Streak coming up, as well as all the other stuff.
Yeah, bet the board,
bet the board,
stars
3 stars of the day, everything.
Wrap it up, boys.
Okay, we'll do it all next on 101 ESPN.
If you are thinking right now about selling your home, it can be a challenge. You don't quite know sometimes what the market's at. You don't really know how to price your home. Maybe you don't know what the comps are in your area. Well, don't worry about it. Call the best in the business, and that's Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria is really, really exceptional at figuring out exactly where the market is trending, and she's going to help you out. She's got over 20 years experience and over 20 years of buyers in her exclusive database. So that means she's going to generate traffic to your listing, maybe multiple offers, more cash for you. That's exactly what you want for sure. And you want that great customer service from someone like Gloria Liu. And she's going to make sure that she holds your hand right through the entire process and going to make sure you get to the closing table. And that's what everybody wants. So pick up the phone, call her today. Tell her Jamie Rivers sent you over there. Her number is 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888. Or you can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Now's the time to fall into savings at Auto Centers Nissan. You were talking about the great deals that Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum has for you on brand new Pathfinders or Rogues or Altimas. It's all there and all financing terms as long as 84 months. Plus, they're throwing in thousands in Nissan bonus cash and dealer discounts. It's their lowest prices of the year at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They've got over 700 vehicles all in one spot for you. So you're bound to find the right car, truck, van, SUV that you're looking for, and with great financing options too. So if you're a first-time borrower or you've got some credit issues, no problem. Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, they've got the best financing department for you. They'll find a way to finance that vehicle for you, plus give you the 30-day new car return promise, the complimentary lifetime warranty on new Nissans and eligible used vehicles, as well as the complimentary one-year maintenance on new Nissan purchases. Check them out online. Head down to Auto Centers Nissan out in Herculaneum, or again, check them out online at autocentersnissan.com.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals take on the Colorado Rockies tonight. Michael McGreevy on the mound going up against Ryan Feltner. First pitch, 7:40 first pitch in Colorado. If you missed anything from today's show, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free 101 mobile app. Just head to the podcast page, and you'll find all of our full shows there. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. You're probably wondering why the Fast Lane's getting off early today. Well, that's because we have Braves and Mets for you. 5:30 pregame show starts. You can listen to that right here on 101 ESPN. We have Beat the Streak, Bet the Board, criticisms and compliments, and our 3 stars of the day coming up next. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hit baseballs. All of my successes depend on me.
You're ready to hit.
The hits just keep on coming.
And his first big league hit is a bullet up the middle.
All right, time to play Beat the Streak here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Ryan is with us right now. What's up, Ryan?
Let's see.
Not much. How are you guys?
We appreciate it. Jamie's struggling right now.
I'm struggling. Carey Davis dropped a smoke screen over here. I can barely see.
Fortunately, it stayed on that side of the room.
Yeah.
Ryan, welcome to Beat the Streak.
Blocking it.
Yeah. Marsh, who goes first here?
Anthony, you're up first, then Carey is going next. You guys are neck and neck right now for your current streak. Anthony, you have 4, Carey has 3.
Okay. And Carey still has the record right now this season.
Yeah, I believe so. I have 1.
We're tied overall.
And then Jamie's back to 0, and obviously we have Brian. So,
all right, my selection tonight is Brenton Doyle of the Colorado Rockies. Brenton Doyle to get a base hit tonight.
You know, I'm going to double down and give me Jordan Walker. He's going to hit a home run, so he's got to get a hit.
That's true.
That's how that works, fellas.
Give me Charlie Blackmon.
He's retiring.
He is retiring, so I'm going to give him the nod tonight to get a base hit.
Good. Jamie Rivers.
Brendan Donovan, please.
Brendan Donovan is now off the board.
Come on.
I didn't think you liked that.
Jamie, would you like to give Brendan Donovan to our guy, Ryan?
No.
Okay.
Nah.
Ryan.
Nah.
Brian, excuse me, Brian. Brian with a B. Not an R. Sorry. Brian.
Let's go with good old Burley.
Alec Burleson.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a good pick.
Good man. Brian, thank you for playing. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you again tomorrow.
Sounds good. See you then.
All right. From Beat the Streak to Bet the Board. By the way, if you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast available at 101ESPN.com or on your 101 ESPN mobile app. It's all brought to you by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Okay.
Did you win yesterday?
No. Did you? Son of a...
Jamie took my pick, and I lost anyways. So,
I'm glad to get it back to you.
I don't want it.
I won thanks to Trevor Lawrence throwing an interception.
I thought about that last night.
Let's go, Blues.
That was a gimme, wasn't it? All right, give me
layup.
Aaron Judge, 1.5 hits, runs, and RBIs. Minus 140.
Okay.
What are you going to do?
I'm going money line on this one. This one stands out to me. Texas playing the Oakland A's. Nathan Eovaldi on the bump for the Rangers. I'm going with the Rangers. Minus 115 on money line.
Oh, boy. Give me the over in the Padres and Dodgers game tonight. Over 8.5 runs at minus 108.
Last night I wanted the Astros. Jamie snaked them. Give me the Astros tonight. They have a chance to clinch the AL West, and that was why I was going with them last night. They did not, so maybe they'll celebrate tonight. So I got the Astros minus 130.
That's going to be. What's the over/under on that game?
7.
Oh,
it's Framber Valdez versus Logan Gilbert.
I looked at that game and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, 7.
No, thank you.
Makes you nervous.
Tanisha from the Snake Pit, we're going to do some criticisms and compliments. Tanisha says, and we met Tanisha last week, despite some of the negativity some people have to say about the show, I think the Fast Lane is the best sports show on radio. You guys do awesome job. Have a good evening at 101 ESPN. Tanisha, thank you, man. We love you.
Much.
We love you. Got a chance to meet you last week at the Scott Air Force Base Military Appreciation Day, and Tanisha couldn't be sweeter. Love having her as part of the Snake Pit, and let's go 49ers for Tanisha.
Yeah, she needs some help there.
Yeah, a little bit.
A lot of injuries.
A little bit, yeah. Marsh?
Yeah, I'm just wondering why we're getting so many criticisms, from the Snake Pit.
Yeah.
Who was that guy?
There was only one guy.
One guy?
One person
Yep.
that said something very rude and hurtful. But
hey, nobody's safe, including us.
No, we're not.
He was giving us his opinion.
And if we have to be better for him, then it's up to us to figure out how to be better for him.
Yes, that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
No, you go.
I was going to say, there was one texter that was upset about our 10, our Stalter Stackup. They were upset about, you guys don't know what the heck you're talking about. Then the person came back and said, I didn't hear 1 through 8. I only got 9 and 10.
I appreciate them coming back, though.
I do like that.
That's
I like
nice.
when
Instead
they
of like the
revisit.
ninja bomb, like, I screwed up. The Homer Simpson, into the hedges. Yeah, I appreciate them coming back. All right, Marsh, what else we got for criticisms and compliments?
From the 314, the Cardinals are still playing baseball, ? For the love of God, make it stop!
Yeah, we didn't know either. Honestly, we had to check. We didn't realize they were still playing. Well said.
Cardinals?
Yeah.
Yeah, not for long.
No. By the way, that's Jamie Rivers each week.
E next to their name.
Each week, the Rizzuto Show in the Fast Lane. We're battling in the Pick'em Challenge. We're up 3-0, boys. Nice job. 3-0 over the Riz Show. But sometimes we also get together, watch a little football. Join Learn from the Riz Show and Jamie Rivers from the Fast Lane this Thursday from 6:30 to 8:30 at Helen Fitzgerald's. Go watch some Thursday Night Football. Get signed up for some Point and 101 ESPN giveaways. Enjoy some cold Bud Light as well. That's this Thursday, 6:30, 8:30 with Learn and Jamie at Helen Fitzgerald's on Lindbergh in Sunset Hills. It's out by me.
Come on by, Anthony.
Maybe I will.
You should.
Come on by. Bring the kids, see Uncle Jamie.
Yeah, Mountain Dew for everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, Jack, step off of Mountain Dew.
I'll do a little rum.
No, he might need it.
He might need it.
Yeah.
Broke his wrist.
Poor guy.
Are you guys ready for the 3 stars of the day?
Yes.
Indeed. All right, our 3rd star of the day is going to go out to Carey's aim.
It's a little high.
Yeah, Marsh took the punishment.
Got the job done, though.
And Carey shot him right in the spine.
Not great.
Not great.
6 feet away.
Right in the spine.
It's a little higher.
Yeah.
Our 2nd star of the day goes out to random party buses that show up to your front door.
Yeah, that's right. That was today that you told that story.
Uh-huh.
1st star of the day, no brainer here, goes out to Anthony's favorite thing in the world, and that is a musical.
Yes.
There you go.
Gotta love those.
Yeah, you'll find out why I hate him if you listen to the podcast. Where Anthony came out for that one. Not a fan. Carey loves him.
I do.
Carey absolutely loves
Never
him.
seen Grease. Actually didn't know it was a musical till today.
Oh, it's a musical.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
And if you like him, it's apparently one of the best ever.
Really?
Hate it.
I wasn't born when it came out.
Why are you so disgusted with me?
I just get disgusted.
What do you like more, Grease or Top Gun?
Well, he loves Top Gun, so.
I only watched the first 20 minutes of Top Gun. Saw
Yeah,
all
but
I
you
needed to
couldn't get
see.
enough.
Well, I saw all I needed to see. I knew exactly what the movie was about. And I'm like, I don't know if this is for me. So I guess I got to go with Grease. Actually made it through that one.
It's a good movie. Could be that way.
What if Top Gun was a musical?
Oh, that would be fun.
That might not
That's
be.
a tough watch, man. That's and Dave Matthews did the music.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's a trifecta of everything that you absolutely hate.
If you put that, hey, here's hell. This is what hell looks like. I mean, that would be my hell.
That's harsh, Anthony.
True, though.
Okay.
You feel it, right?
No.
Okay. We have Braves-Mets pregame at 5:30. Braves-Mets, they're still playing baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Meaningful
It's going to be
baseball.
an unbelievable series.
Yes, it will. Oof. Braves may miss the playoffs unless and get it done. All right, that'll do it for us. We'll be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. For Andrew Marsh, for Carey Davis, for Jamie Rivers, I'm Anthony Stalter. We thank you for listening and watching. See ya.